Thank you for logging on to this broadcast on WellsCountyVoice.com. Since the onset of COVID-19, we have all had to experience social distancing. And this is true with high school sporting events. Our school administrators are doing their best to keep our kids, teachers, administration, and their families healthy. We are honored to be a part of the solution to contain and overcome this, as well as promote our student athletes. We wouldn't be able to bring this broadcast to you if it wasn't for our sponsors you hear throughout the broadcast. Please shop their businesses, use their services, and tell them thank you.
From Leo High School in Leo, Cedarville, welcome to Week 3 action. This is the conference opener for both of these teams. Derek Decker alongside Christian Bohanna, and it is a pleasure to be bringing you Norwell Knights football for the third consecutive week here on Wells County Voice. We certainly appreciate you joining us. We know there are lots of watch parties and stuff out there during the COVID era that we're living in right now, but we're certainly happy that football is happening. It's not happening in a majority of the U.S. at any level, so we're very blessed to be having football here tonight. And while we do have football, let's talk about a couple storylines. Bo, this Leo team is really spearheaded by Landon Livingston. This is a kid that's gotten a lot of looks. I hate to make comparisons, and it's never going to be an exact comparison, but if you followed Norwell football for a while, the Curtis Blackwell type of kid where it's a big, burly lineman with D1 talent.
Yeah, we can look for him to make a difference tonight in this game. I suppose they're going to run to that side of the line he's on most of the night, and I know Norwell's going to put their best defensive lineman up against him, so I think it'll be a fun battle in the trenches tonight as Leo's more of a run-heavy team, and Norwell's defense pretty stout up front, so it'll be a fun game to watch.
This Leo team coming off a 34-17 loss. Scheduled to play Angola last week, but ended up having to pick up Mooresville. Of course, that's in the Indianapolis area, and this week came in ranked number 1 in Class 4A, one of the best teams in the state, and Mooresville came in and kind of had their way, especially in the second half. But this Leo team, the score was not representative of what this Leo team can do. Comes in at 1-1. But lost just twice last season, both times to East Noble. 35-7 in the regular season, then lost in the sectional title game, 14-7, both those games up in Kendallville. And, of course, when these two teams got together last year, it was a lot of fun. 3-2, according to John Harrell, that could be the only 3-2 game in Indiana football history at the high school level. His records go back to 1994. And there has not been a 3-2 game in that time frame. So not saying it's impossible, but certainly a very rare kind of score. Of course, Leo knocking through a 31-yard field goal with about 8 minutes left in that one to take home the victory on the christening of the new turf at Norwell. That was really a nice night, good community showing, a whole lot of fun, although Norwell wasn't able to come away with the win. Despite outgaining Leo in that game 288 to 133, including over 170 passing yards, which was Eli Riley's best performance in the year last season.
That's right. That's a key to watch tonight, as well as Eli performed well the last 2 weeks, and we'll see how Leo's defense can adjust from what they did last year to try to stop him, as Norwell got in the red zone plenty of times last year, had plenty of chances, just couldn't capitalize. So I think it's another key for tonight is Norwell capitalizing and finishing the drives that they make.
Now, with that being said, both of these teams are very run-heavy teams. You'll see them run quite a bit. Leo is very, very strong on the ground. A couple of guys have been really impressive so far this year, led by the tailback, Caden Miller, 171 yards in a couple of games, 11 yards a carry. Those 171 yards on just 15 carries, so that's nice, impressive, efficient football. Averaging 86 yards a game. He's their starting tailback, but they've got a couple of halfbacks as well as they run that T offense and have for so long here at Leo under Coach Jared Sauer.
Yeah, and that T offense is hard to defend, and it makes teams think a little bit. You got to adjust. You got to really study them up in the previous week before you play them to really understand what's going on in their offense, and it'll be fun to watch Norwell make those adjustments tonight, as they've had 2 good defensive performances, as last week Heritage's only score was off of that fumble, so they have not given up a defensive touchdown yet. So we'll see if they can keep that going tonight, and definitely if they can, they should come out with a win.
You are listening to the Billy Ann Supper Pub pregame show. Billy Ann Supper Pub is your home for Tex-Mex and American food in downtown Bluffton. We've got it all teed up for you, all set up. We'll come back with the balance of the Billy Ann Supper Pub pregame show after these words from our sponsors. Thanks for joining us. Norwell and Leo, moments away from kickoff on WellsCountyVoice.com.
I'm David Morrison, President and CEO of Austin State Bank. Welcome to this glimpse of our company.
Banking can be a difficult process, and without the right person to guide you, it can be long and tedious, also stressful. Aussie State Bank has been offering commercial and retail banking services to businesses and consumers in and around Wells County for over 107 years. We are the only locally owned and headquartered community bank in our county since 1912. Our team of bankers is professional, enthusiastic, and dedicated to helping you through every step of your journey. We continually strive to build long-lasting relationships with our customers while providing smart financial solutions that both improve and simplify your life. Come and experience for yourself today what a true community bank can help do for you.
It's a local thing.
Did you sprain your ankle playing with your kids last night? Have you had a nagging pain while training for an upcoming race? Or do you have an upcoming surgery? Indiana Physical Therapy understands how important and valuable your time is to you. At Indiana Physical Therapy, we can schedule you within 24 hours at any of our 19 convenient clinics. IPT has been a trusted part of your community for over 32 years. With trusted results, you can count on Indiana Physical Therapy to get you better, faster. You don't need a referral from your doctor, and all insurances are accepted, including Anthem. IPT is your choice for physical therapy. So what are you waiting for? Call Indiana Physical Therapy right now at 260-209-2464 to schedule an appointment, or go online to indianapt.com. Indiana Physical Therapy, where people go to get better.
Daniel's Jewelers on North Main Street in Bluffton has a great selection of beautiful jewelry for the fall season. We have awesome engagement rings and bridal sets with a variety of center stone shapes and gold color. We also have wedding bands in gold, tungsten, and even carbon fiber.
Who doesn't like a little bling? Diamond or gemstone stackable rings are just adorable. Petite little rings with a ton of style. We also have bar necklaces with stones or plain, and great stud-style earrings that have bezel-style settings.
There is nothing quite like the feel of gold. Yellow, rose, or white. Classic styles of earrings, hoops, buttons, and fancy shapes. We also have a great selection of sterling silver and, of course, our SteelX jewelry.
Daniel's Jewelers on North Main Street in Bluffton, where personal service and trust become part of the memory.
Serving Bluffton and all of Wells County, Bluffton Rentco offers the biggest, cleanest, and most reliable selection of equipment around. They offer small and large equipment like lifts and skid loaders, to lawn and landscaping tools, along with home improvement and construction rental equipment. Bluffton Rentco can handle all of your rental needs, including party rentals. Visit BlufftonRentco.com to view their large selection of rental items, located at 975 North Main Street in Bluffton. Serving Ossian since 1938, Ossian Hardware is your best choice for hardware, paint, lawn and garden rental, and so much more. Stop in today for all of your project needs and be rewarded for making your purchases at Ossian Hardware with their Best Rewards program. Stop in for more information. Knowledgeable, friendly service is what you'll get at Ossian Hardware. Stay connected at OssianHardware.com or on Facebook.
And welcome back to Leo, just moments away from kickoff here in Week 3, getting a lot of texts in from some of our community members. Norwell girls basketball head coach Eric Thornton is locked into the broadcast at this point. Steve Garza, I believe, hosting another watch party here tonight. So always great to hear those guys as Norwell has come onto the field. A great performance of the national anthem held by the Leo marching band here this evening. Really good to see those kids getting into work, and we've talked about that at Norwell as well. Just being able to see everything happen and seeing band kids get in on the action as well, and not being adversely affected by this COVID pandemic, and at least allowed to be performing here at football games this season. The two captains are meeting at the center point in midfield. The Knights are, of course, led out there by Quinn Dryban and Bo Morgan. So the computer in this one takes Leo 38-14. Don't know if I really buy into that. I think it's going to be real difficult for either team to score in this game. I think this is probably most likely a defensive battle. That's not even based on last year's performance of the 3-2 game like we talked about earlier in the Billy Ann Supper Pub pregame show. But we do want to talk about the fact that Leo's quarterback Jackson Barber. This is a kid with more experience. Not a big guy, dual threat quarterback, though. And Coach Jared Souter had nothing but good things to say about him coming into tonight.
Yeah, and I think Norwell up front, defensively, is just as stout, or if not more stout than Leo's defensive front. So, like you said, I think it'll be more of a defensive battle. And like you said, Leo's quarterback can dual threat, so Norwell can't really just hone in on the run. They're going to have to respect the pass as well. But like we said, Leo's more of a run-heavy offense. Norwell's defense is kind of set up to stop that, so it'll be fun to watch. It'll be fun to watch Norwell's offense to see what they can do against the good Leo defense, as well as both the strengths of these teams, I'd assume, is the defense. So I'm excited to see Norwell offense finishing drives, as I said earlier in the pregame show, and just really getting in the end zone and taking control of this game.
Appears that Leo has been able to bring in about 14 or 18 students over there on the far sideline. We're actually set up in the visitor bleachers here. If you're familiar with the Leo setup, then we are in the visitor bleachers, which are plenty spacious for the about 100 or so Norwell fans that are here, socially distant from each other. And we are set to go here on week number 3. Norwell has come in outscoring their first two opponents 77-7 and has not allowed an offensive touchdown in the first 2 weeks. That doesn't say a lot. Heritage and Jay County are two struggling football teams, but here tonight we should have ourselves a good one. Norwell will kick off here as they will receive to begin the second half, as we're just about set to get underway. Obviously, normally we talk about the crowd size, but we know what the crowd size was going to be coming into tonight. Leo had a couple of parents per athlete, as well as Norwell. 72 degrees here at kickoff, just picture perfect night. No humidity to speak of, and pretty gorgeous sunny skies, not a lot of clouds at all. And Josh Scott will kick off this one for Norwell to get us underway here in week 3. This one bounding to the left, back towards the end zone, kicking with the wind, and it falls inside the pylon. It'll be a touchback, and it'll bring Leo out to the 20-yard line to start their first drive.
Probably the best kick I've seen Josh Scott hit. Of course, wind behind him, but that's a great kick. Put it right in the corner of the end zone for a touchback. We'll start Leo here at the 20-yard line.
Now, the wind is only registering at about 10 miles an hour, although it does gust to about 15 or 20 at times. The wind will play less of a factor as the game continues to move along tonight. And Leo will, of course, start their first drive under the junior quarterback, Jackson Barber, who is 9 for 13, a completion percentage of 69% with just one pick in his first 2 weeks here at Leo. There's a handoff to the tailback, Caden Miller, on his first carry, and he is stuffed. About a gain of a yard, not a whole lot there. Norwell ready for that one on the outside.
Yeah, as we talked about in the pregame show, you saw that T offense. Got right into it, started right into it, not messing around, Leo is, and Norwell did a good job sniffing that out. But as you can see, the number 4 there, the tailback, I mean, there's going to be a lot of misdirection there. So, I mean, there's we'll really have to keep an eye on really who has the ball.
Second down 9 for the Lions on their opening drive. A lot of deception. Good hole that time up the middle. I think it was Caden Miller again who gets out to about the 27-yard line before being brought down. It'll bring up third down, short yardage situation for Leo. This is a Leo team that has not been terribly impressive on third downs, 10 for 18, about an average number. Norwell has given up just one first down on 16 defensive attempts. So Norwell's been stout defensively in that regard so far. And so these two teams will batter here on about 3rd and 2 from the Leo 28 on their opening drive. There's the handoff, and I don't think, well, he's still bouncing to the outside. Miller trying to get by the outstretched arms of Rinkenberger, and he will, and get the first down and much more before being brought down near the 50-yard line. A run who outlasted Joel Rinkenberger. Caden Miller kept the play alive. About half the Norwell defense bit to the left side, and it cost Norwell that time as Leo gets a big third down pickup of 20.
You know, Norwell defense really did a good job on that. They had him inside the tackle box. A couple guys wrapped him up, and he just bounced outside. And once he got outside, like you said, all the Norwell defenders were on the left side or up the middle, and he had room to run there.
So Leo able to move the chains. Again, they are about an average team on third down, but just the second third down conversion Norwell's given up defensively all year. Barber on a keeper this time. Good block outside. Riley over pursued. Rinkenberger gets him from behind after a gain of about 8 on first down. So again, this is not a fast-moving offense. A lot of deception there, but another successful run, this time from the quarterback, Jackson Barber.
That's right, and these are the type of offenses that can really kill you as a defense. I mean, they can make you really tired as you see some of them big boys with the hands on their hips already. That's
right.
A sign of tiredness, and I mean, so much movement throughout this offense, so much mental thinking, more than just physical thinking. You can't just focus on one job. You really have to think about what's about to hit you, and Norwell defense will make some adjustments, and we'll see if they can adjust to this Leo offense here at the first drive.
Second down, 1.5 yards. Leo has moved into Norwell territory already, something the defense is not real accustomed to. That's again up the middle to Caden Miller, and Leo will move the chains again. This once again, and this is going to happen all night. First of all, it makes our job difficult. But second of all, the Norwell defense has been real spread out, which is exactly what Leo wants from the beginning.
That's right. We think it makes our job look difficult, but we're not on the field playing.
Right.
That's the Norwell defense. And, you know, it's really hard on the linebackers.
That's a good point.
really have no one to read, as you'll see the quarterback roll one way, but the ball's in the hands of the opposite player. So, I mean, it's really tough on the linebackers.
First down for Leo. The handoff this time to the right side is snuffed out. That's Tanner Jackson out there. 5 carries on the season for 24 yards. Not the first option for Leo, and this time was snuffed out from the snap. A gain of about half a yard, we'll call it, and it'll bring up second down and 9.
Great job by the Norwell defense there. As like I said, the linebackers, they just kind of sniffed that one out, and looking into the backfield is going to be a big key for the game for these linebackers, so we'll see how they can perform the rest of the game.
Norwell trying to adjust defensively to a pretty unique Leo offense, still in that T offense. Handoff this time goes to Caden Miller again up the middle. There's a hold from the backside. This will bring this play back, even though Caden Miller was brought down across the 25-yard line in what would have been first down territory. I think this one's coming back pretty easily.
Yep, that's a hold there, Derek, as White Hat saw it pretty soon, threw his flag. He's got the spot, so looks like it'll be about second and 15, 16 or so.
Officials marking it off back to the 43-yard line of Leo. And this will be second down again, of course. We'll call it second and 16. Bo, nice call. Derek Decker, Christian Bohata here early on in the first quarter. Leo still on their first drive, 3.5 minutes into the contest. They've marched into Norwell territory after converting a 3rd and 2 on their first down and distance sequence, but now have been brought back due to a penalty, but for the most part have been fairly successful offensively in this teeth of the Norwell defense. A pitch back this time to Carson Hepner, the sweep to the left side. The Norwell fans hoping for a hold. Bo Morgan got out there at the ankles of Hepner after a gain of a few. Not bad. This will be Leo playing from behind the sticks on 3rd and long, which is the situation exactly Norwell wants to put them in for a team that doesn't throw the ball off.
That's right. I was about to make that point, Derek. This is a perfect spot for the Norwell defense to be in. They need to take advantage of this as a little outside field goal range. I mean, into the wind, I'd assume it is outside field goal range. We know Leo has a really good kicker, but I mean, if Norwell stops him here at the line of scrimmage, even lets him gain 3 or 4 yards, I'd assume Leo would have a tough decision to make on 4th down. So
the senior Carson McCauley, the kicker, of course, made that 31-yarder last year to put Leo in the win 3-2. The lefty throws, and Riley almost got a fingertip on it, but it was thrown towards the sideline and out of bounds anyway. And Norwell's going to bring up a 4th down and 11 defensively as they've gotten their stop. We'll see what Leo chooses to do. It looks like they're going to bring on the special teams unit to punt it away.
See, that's the difference between a spread offense and that offense as well, as when they run an offense, they had one receiver they were relying on. If he could beat his defender, they had him. If he couldn't, he didn't. And Norwell did a good job. They double-teamed that, and just so happened he was covered up, and looks like Leo punted away.
McCauley only a few punts on the season, although we know he's got a great leg in the field goal department. Ball's resting on the Norwell 38-yard line. The left footer will put this one high, spiraling kick, and it'll bounce inside the 10. And Isaiah Braggy got away from it, and it'll roll down inside the 3-yard line. So a mistake there on special teams, although a pretty good kick by Leo's Carson McCauley, a 35-yard punt to put Norwell inside their own 5.
Yeah, it's tough as a punt returner. They tell you put your heels on the 10 and not back up. Well, Isaiah had to back up a little bit. More often than not, listen to the coaches there and just let that ball roll. It took a good bounce for Leo. Favor rolled another 2 yards. That's a good decision by Isaiah, but instead it's not so good decision, and Norwell starts on their own 3.
Sun setting off to our right from our vantage point here at Leo. Just a perfect night for football here in Leo Cedarville. Riley has his first snap, and they take it to the middle after a gain of a couple. Not a whole lot there. Appeared to be a bit of a broken play. The first option didn't look to be there for Norwell.
It's like a read option, and I don't know if it was a mishandled handoff or what, but ended up getting a couple yards out of it and make it 2nd and 8.
For what it's worth, it is Norwell working with the wind here in the first quarter, although that wind is dying down quickly as we speak, and the sun starts to set beyond the west bleachers. Riley standing with his heels near the end zone. Well, not in a great position on their first drive. He's going to throw it. It's intercepted and taken back for a touchdown. The DN, DJ Allen, was there. The big 6'7" junior was right at the heels of the end zone and takes it in for 6.
That's a tough play. They fake the handoff there. It's tough as a quarterback to see somebody jump that route as you're not expecting somebody to be right across, but you got to give it to the Leo defensive end and just sniffing that play out. A lot of that comes from film. They know what's about to hit them, and they made a great play on defense.
So Riley throws his first interception of the season, and it cost Norwell 6 points. There was motion prior to the snap, although the kick was well good, and it looked to be encroachment on Norwell. It was. And so they'll have to retry the kick as the play was blown dead, of course, here in high school. Now they're going to try to go for 2.
Out. Yep, there you go.
I like that decision.
Yeah, I mean, you're half the distance to the goal, put you about the 1 yard line, 1.5, and offense came back out. So,
all right, so now Leo will go for the conversion, and we won't see Carson McCauley. A defensive touchdown has put Leo up with 6.5 to go here in the opening quarter. Norwell was inside their own 5, and that drive never got any steam to it offensively for Norwell. Of course, they will set up in the T again, and the quarterback Jackson Barber's out there for the Lions. Barber has the snap, hands it off. And it's going to be close. I don't think he got it. He didn't.
He got stopped. Great job by that Norwell defense.
Leo gambled, went to the halfback Ethan Crawford, who was stopped by Norwell up the middle. That could play a big part in a game that might not feature a lot of points.
That's right. That's huge. I mean, instead of being a touchdown, it's 2 field goals. And for what it's worth, I mean, Norwell defense did a good job there. Just not letting them have it. They're on the 1 yard line. Good stop there by the Norwell defense.
Well, how much have we talked in the first 2 weeks about Norwell's special teams unit? It has been rock solid all season long on both sides of the football. Of course, Riley with the 65-yard punt return for a touchdown last week against Heritage in the first half. But again, the Norwell special teams unit comes up in a big way there on the 2-point conversion.
Yeah, and special teams unit there. It's more, I think the defense stays on the field there for the extra point. But hey, for what it's worth, that's counts in the special teams department and makes them 0 for 1 on 2-point conversions, and it's 6-0 instead of 7.
All right, so the encroachment doesn't hurt Norwell, and in fact ends up hurting Leo. It's 6-0, 6:38 left here in the first quarter. Pick 6, but it was basically a 1 or 2 yard return from the DN, DJ Allen, who's getting some collegiate looks as well, not only in football but in basketball. Terrific player on the hardwood, and we'll look forward to seeing him hopefully this winter for Leo as well. And it'll be McCauley again, the lefty, to kick off for Leo. Into the wind this time, and we'll see if that plays any part of a factor. It's the first time we've seen anybody really go through the air to this side of the field. This is a pretty good kick, end over end, although it's going to stay well within play. Graft plays it off of a bounce near the 15-yard line. Graft had to wait a while, and it cost him a little bit as he is brought down by Michael O'Brien, who is the starting inside linebacker and also playing on special teams. 6'2" senior leading the team in tackles coming into tonight with 8.5, and Norwell will start around their own 21-yard line.
Well, now their backs aren't up against the end zone so much, so we'll see what the Norwell offense can do here, as Leo won't just be able to kind of have their will on what they can call defensively, but we'll see here if the Norwell offense can put a drive together and answer the Leo touchdown.
Riley will hand it off on the first play from scrimmage on this drive to Max Ringer, who has a terrific opening, and that's a really good sight to see. Max Ringer had some issues with his shoulder in the first half of last week's game against Heritage. Wasn't entirely sure what his availability was going to be tonight, although I was told prior to the game that he was going to be an offensive-only kind of guy tonight, and we'll see what, they'll kind of reevaluate with what goes on and how his health continues to hold up throughout the game, but he picks up 9 on first down on his first carry.
Yeah, he's a big key to that Norwell offense, so hopefully he stays healthy the rest of the game and can continue to perform.
Movement along the line, but they stay onside, and Ringer has himself a first down and another 5-yard carry, dragging a couple Leo defenders with him, including Dallin Wirtz, the 5'7" senior wearing number 25, the other inside linebacker, as Norwell moves the chains for the first time this evening.
It's good to see those Norwell running backs or quarterback just falling forward, as I preached a couple weeks ago against Heritage and Jay County, is more aggressive one with the ball always falls forward, and when they're facing a tougher opponent, they're still falling forward, so it's good to see.
Riley out of the gun this time. Ringer still in the backfield with him. Joel Rinkenberger, the wide receiver to the left, moved early, and it'll set Norwell back for a 1st and 15.
Yeah, that's tough on first down, but hey, get half of it back, make second down, third down. All right, so we're okay. It's not the worst thing on first down.
So 1st and long for the Knights as they play behind the sticks. Riley will line up out of the gun again. Rinkenberger to the left side, Bo Morgan and Luke Graff to the wide side. There's the snap. Ringer gets the call again and is able to power forward for 4 on first down as he was tripped up in the backfield. Had a pretty good block, and it was just DJ Allen too much overpowering on that left side. Got such great size. That 6'7" is a mismatch for just about anybody defensively. And we talked about the impact he might make, and already, of course, has his hands all over this game, scoring the only touchdown of the contest so far.
Yeah, this 2nd and 11 play is a crucial play to keep this drive going. They need to get at least 6 or 7 yards here to make third down manageable, so they're not.
We talk about that a lot, especially
situation.
We talk about that a lot, especially with Norwell, is trying to get themselves into third down manageable situations for this offense, and that's exactly what they're going to do as Max Ringer gets forward for another 4 or 5. And so far, the Ringer call has been good for at least 4 or 5 yards every time.
Yeah, 4 or 5 yards every time. Within 3 plays, that's a first down every time. So, I mean, without the false start, that's a first down run right there. So, silly penalties, got to eliminate them against good teams, as we talked. They did a good job last week of not really having that many penalties, but it might play a big part in this drive. We'll see if they do here on about 3rd and 6 to go.
Inside the 4-minute mark here in the first quarter, as Leo leads it 6-0 after the pick 6 from DJ Allen. Riley under center. Riley the pitch. Graff cuts back. Graff cuts outside. The official pulled the flag out of his pocket and put it back in, and Norwell's going to have a first down.
He might have just dropped it on the ground there, Derek. I don't think he necessarily put it back in his pocket.
It fooled us because we can't see it. The Norwell coaching staff reacting, and they don't like what this call is going to be. It looks like it's going to go against Norwell for a hold outside. And, boy, I tell you what, it looked to be a good block. Tough to realize on the angle. And now, of course, the Norwell fans are upset because they feel like there could be a hold on every play on Leo. But, it looked clean, but nevertheless, this will set up Norwell now for 3rd and long again, and that might be a big-time drive killer when we look back.
That's right. That was a great play by Norwell, too. We haven't seen that sweep from the slot guy much this year, so that's a great play. Kind of pulled it out of his pocket. Got a first down from it, but tough here. We'll see what they do on 3rd and long.
Riley on the keeper. Riley up the middle. Boy, he got popped. The ball came loose. Max Ringer jumped on top of it and will keep Norwell away from their second turnover of the first quarter, but nevertheless, after that big hold on 3rd down, it'll force Norwell to punt.
Yeah, the false start and the hold, 15 or a 10 and a 5-yard penalty. That's tough on drives, especially against a good team, as they're not really going to give up a 3rd and 16, 3rd and 15 much. Very often, so.
Well, I tell you what, Bo, Norwell's looked good in getting chunk yardage plays so far. They just haven't been able to put together, save for 1 first down on their first 2 drives.
And that's good to see early in the game.
Ooh, bad snap as Riley is able to get this kick away, and it is booming. Back to the 25. It's fumbled, and Norwell almost pounces on it, but it's picked up by Leo. He was going for the scoop and score instead of falling on top of it, and Leo is able to jump on it and they'll recover inside their own 20. It's going to turn out to be a great punt, but could have been so much more for Norwell.
Wow, Norwell's ball would have been there at the 20-yard line, as I think it was Isaiah Breggy who had it go right through his hands. He jumped on it. Those are tough going full speed, but, man, that's something Norwell's got to have.
Well, almost both special teams touchdown. Instead, it is Leo with a first down play.
Nevertheless, though, great punt by Eli Riley. High snap, handled it well, got it off. Wind on his back. I mean, like you said, though, the wind's died down. That was just a great punt. Hit off his foot perfect and made the Leo punt returner make a decision. And
all right, so now first down for Leo on their own, 17-yard line, maybe call it 18. Hand off to the right side this time, up the middle, and Caden Miller is brought down inside the 20. And they get about half yardage there on that first down play. Call it 4, and it'll bring up 2nd and 6. Close to 2 minutes left in this first quarter. Of course, with both of these teams running it on the majority of their offensive snaps, this game shouldn't take very long. Clock should keep moving for the most part.
Yep. As you see, Norwell in a 5-man front, normally in a 3-man front. They're really loading the box.
Good call. There's a pre-snap penalty, although the play was allowed to continue, so I got to imagine it was a legal shift or motion on Leo, or the play would have been blown dead.
Sideline.
Okay, sideline warning. Interesting. So that actually doesn't move anything. It'll bring up, 3rd and pretty short for Leo.
It is interesting because, this early in the season, normally referees are a little lenient on that and say, hey, make sure you're out of the way. But
maybe that was already happening in this contest. We didn't know about it. But the first one doesn't hurt you. The second one costs you 5. And so this will bring up a 3rd and 2 near the 25-yard line for Leo on their second drive of the ball game. Norwell looking for a stop, try to get the ball back, should get decent field position if they're able to get a stop, and the Knights fans trying to make a little noise. Handoff goes up the middle, and he is stopped. Joel Rinkenberger in there first on the tackle alongside 66. That's Big Quinn Dryband in there for Norwell, and the Knights are able to get a stop on 3rd down.
If you remember, Quinn Dryband kind of has Leo's number as he caused a safety last year against Leo at the courtyard, so that's great job by Quinn. Look to him to perform well all game.
All right, so Leo is going to have to punt. We're inside a minute left here in this first quarter. And it's Riley back there. Actually, it's not Riley back there this time, as McCauley punts this one very high. Not going to be a great chance for a return. Brady fumbles it, but then holds on to it as he is not able to escape the grasp on special teams by Damian Gutekunst, who was right there to make the tackle, and Brege's had a tough start to this first quarter.
Yeah, Brege has, but you know what? I think players will talk to him. He'll get back in his head. He'll be okay. We're lucky to hold on to that, but hey, Norwell still hasn't given up a defensive touchdown as their defense is standing strong.
Right.
So
good point.
Like we said, a defensive game, and Leo's defense has scored. Norwell's hasn't. That's the difference here. About only 39 seconds left in the quarter.
All right, so Leo did a good job of flipping the field. Norwell will start on their own 35. Decent field position. Riley, a big drop, and he's going to try to throw it. Riley's got some room to the left, and he'll tuck it and run. He has the first down much more. Joel Rinkenberger nearly got a hold called on him again. Carson Hepner was pleading with the sideline official as he put his hands up, saying, I took my hands off, rather, and Norwell gets a big chunk on first down. We've said that Norwell's been able to move the ball efficiently when they haven't been hurt by a penalty or an interception in this case.
That's right, and pass on first down, I like the play call there. It's kind of throw Leo off guard as they'd been running on their previous first downs. So Eli made a great decision there, got a great block by Rinkenberger.
1st and 10 on the 49. Handoff goes to Ringer. Another big chunk play across the 45 into Leo territory and dragged down from behind again by the outside linebacker Carson Hepner, the 5'10", 175-pound junior who has 5 tackles on the season so far coming into tonight. That'll be the last play from scrimmage here in this first quarter. It was entertaining. Defensive touchdown. Neither one of us should be surprised about that.
Yeah, that's right.
And it'll be Leo taking a 6-0 lead as Norwell will come to the line of scrimmage but the clock will expire before they're able to get a playoff. So after one, it's the Lions 6, Norwell nothing. We're back after these words on our WellsCountyVoice.com stream. Thanks for joining us here this evening, part of the Voice Sports Network.
We're here at Craigville Appliance. We just wanted to say to all the fall athletes, good luck on this season. Be safe, be strong, compete to the highest level. Always practice good sportsmanship. If moms and dads, I know it's time, washer and dryer season, we'll take care of you here at Craigville Appliance. We can deliver it, install it, no big deal here at Craigville Appliance. Good luck, have a great season, compete to the highest level.
Bluffton Tire, you know where they're located, across the street from Bummy's, right at the entrance to the 4-H park, has been serving Wells County for over 50 years. Bluffton Tire needs to be the first stop for brakes, struts, front-end alignment, and offers over 20 different brands of tires. Stop by and see Carrie Jennis today or visit online at BlufftonTire.com for online specials and coupons. Bluffton Tire is open Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 5, and Saturday, 7:30 till noon.
Hi, this is Carrie Jennis of Bluffton Tire, and we'll keep you going.
And welcome back to Leo. Norwell will have a second and short situation. They've moved into the Lions side of the field. It was a pretty good first quarter overall offensively when you consider. I mean, the turnover is the difference.
Yeah. Yep.
But Norwell was pretty efficient moving the football. We've talked about that throughout the contest already. And they'll have themselves a good situation to try to move the chains again and advance into this Leo Lions territory further. But we have a pre-snap penalty.
Like
It'll be encroachment. And this will give Norwell a first down.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, it's always good to catch a break there here in a while, or once in a while for Norwell, as makes it a 1st and 10, about the 39-yard line. You know, a big thing I stressed in the pregame, right before the game started, was finishing drives, as Norwell's putting together a really good drive here. They're getting 5 or 6 yards each play, and the big thing here is they're on Leo's side of the field now, is getting in the red zone and finishing this drive with a score in the end zone.
Flags have been aplenty here in this first quarter plus from this officiating crew tonight in the conference opener for both these teams. Riley looking to throw, escapes pressure, gets outside, cuts back to the middle, cuts left, wrapped down across the 35-yard line for a gain of about 5. It was Dallin Wirtz with first contact, bringing him to the turf, as Norwell will bring up 2nd and 4 on about the 33.
One thing to note is the Norwell offensive line doing a really good job giving Eli Riley time right now to pass the ball. As he's scrambled both times, they've dropped back to pass, but he doesn't really have anybody right in his grill.
Well,
so
I tell you what, Bo, you got 2nd and 4. If you're going to take a shot at some point, this is about the situation. You're in 4-down territory here,
right.
So look for maybe a big play. He sets Bragi in motion. He hands it off instead to Max Ringer, who gets a couple, maybe one, after being brought down by that Leo front line. That's a really strong front facing defense for Leo. Yeah. Ethan Stewart, also the starting left guard, the D tackle, bringing him down. Listed at just 5'6", but 265, a big kid in the middle. And that'll bring up 3rd down. We'll call it 3 from about the 31.5-yard line.
Big 3rd down to continue this Norwell drive. I'd look for another run to Ringer, as they've had success. Either another run to Ringer up the middle or a sweep again.
Knights need a little sense of urgency. They're inside of 10 on the play clock. Riley under center. Play action.
Ooh.
He got flushed, and he had to throw it away to Joel Rinkenberger. And Riley took a punch that time from Carson Hepner, as he was all over him, and Norwell was not able to hold Leo at all on that play. Carson Hepner, both him and DJ Allen, provided the pressure right off the snap, and it'll bring up 4th and 3. It's a situation Norwell has only gone for one time this year, and they got it. That was last week against Heritage. They need to get about 2.5 down to the 28-yard line. We'll call it, see, it's at the 29, take that back.
Yep.
So it's 4th and about 2.5 for Norwell. Riley the snap. Riley the handoff. Ringer didn't get it. Max Ringer stopped about the 30-yard line. It'll be a full yard short. Leo's defense holds strong again, and Norwell turns it over on downs.
Yeah, that's tough. I thought they were going to go with Ringer there on 3rd down. Even if he didn't get it, I think he would have been a little bit more manageable for 4th down. But nevertheless, Leo's defense prevailed there on the Norwell drive, and I mean, we still see Norwell putting the drive together there. It just kind of got stagnant. So
yeah, I got to tell you, I don't really understand the mentality offensively after getting the big first down. Oh, this could be a big play for Leo if he gets a block outside to the sideline. Carson Hepner, first down territory across the 40-yard line as the Lions move the chains again.
Yeah, Norwell fans saying to throw a flag there for another hold, and I'll tell you what, I'd watch that outside because I've seen 2 or 3 holds they haven't called as well. I don't know if they're just not looking for them or what, but
well, you know what? There's been plenty of penalties in this game so far, so they haven't been short on that. But Leo has moved the chains. Actually, for as much flack and we've had the turnover and the turnover on downs, both offenses have been okay moving the football. This is a keeper. Barber stuffed. Joel Rinkenberger tosses into the turf and gets up with a little energy as Barber loses a yard on first down.
Yeah, that's great to see. That's great first down defensive play there for Norwell, and they sniffed out the quarterback keeper. Joel Rinkenberger made a nice play, didn't give up on him, and I like the little energy there. Some fuego from Norwell defense. See what they do here on second and about 10 still.
Barber back under center where he'll be all night. Pitch this time, sweep to the outside. That's Hepner lowering his shoulder. Football's loose. Norwell jumps on it, and they've created their first turnover of the first half as they'll pick it up near the 45-yard line of Leo.
Joel Rinkenberger jumped on that. I'm not sure who caused the fumble, but he is down. He's hurt. Helmet off.
Hepner is now getting up, looking around for his helmet.
Looks like his arm is limp.
And it's he's going to kind of...
Yeah, he's running off with a bum shoulder there.
Yeah, he is
he
not
got
in
hit
good
hard.
shape.
I'm not sure who caused that fumble, but I know Joel Rinkenberger jumped on it. And Norwell ball here in Leo territory. Need to capitalize on this turnover.
All right, 9:20 to go here in this first half. Norwell are trailing 6-0 after Leo now has turned it over and given Norwell their best opportunity of the night so far. Riley calling a play. Will line up under center. Max Ringer in the backfield. He gets the call on first down. Ringer tripped up. Not before a gain, rather, of about 6 on first down as he gets all the way inside the 40-yard line of Leo.
I tell you what, Max Ringer stays hot and running the ball, and that's great. Norwell to keep going to that. I hope Coach Gerber realizes that's just success on every run there.
Yeah, the only part about that, and if you weren't with us for pregame, you'll realize that we don't know how long Max Ringer's going to last tonight. I mean, that's a big question mark. He comes in not 100%, so that's certainly something to watch after coming off. We just talked about Hepner leaving with a bum shoulder. Similar situation happened to Ringer in the first half of the Heritage game last week. And he's not going to get anywhere this time, as all over it from the snap was Michael O'Brien, again, the team leader in tackles, and he's been around a lot of Norwell runners so far tonight, so it's not surprising to see why he leads the team in tackles, but it'll bring up third down and middle yardage for Norwell. We'll call it 5.
I'm excited to see the play call here Coach Gerber does as he's looking to the sideline for some advice here. And I mean, it's 3rd and 5 in Leo territory. I'd say they're probably not going to run up the middle here. I'd say look for a pass maybe out of the shotgun.
8 to go here, second quarter. And a 6-0 Lions lead here in Leo Cedarville. Riley, quick handoff to Ringer. Tried to lower his shoulder, but there he just went into a wall of Lion defenders as the Norwell natives get a little restless. We talked about the success that Ringer had. Well, that seems to be dwindling with time here as the second quarter wears on.
Yeah, it's hard to have success when you run the same play 3 times in a row. I'm surprised about that play call. I mean, that's just – I am just truly surprised about that play call. We'll see what they do here. Looks like they're going to go for it again on 4th down. But
I think that's a good decision.
Oh, yeah.
It's 4th down and about 3. They need to get to the 36.
This is what I expected him to do on 3rd down.
Riley rolls to his left, has some protection, throws across the middle, out of the outstretched arms of Bo Morgan, and the Knights turn it over for a second time on downs here this first half.
He had 3 receivers open, just missed him. Kind of threw it behind him there, and I don't know if he was trying to aim it to him or what to be sure of the 4th down conversion, but nevertheless, they don't really convert a first down after that fumble. They don't capitalize on it. Defense will have to step up again for Norwell as Leo has momentum there defending that turnover.
Well, we knew the offense was going to be a struggle for both teams, and it certainly has shown here in this first half, especially for Norwell, although Leo hasn't exactly torn it up. Other than their first drive, they drove it pretty deep into Norwell territory. The pick 6 by DJ Allen's the difference here in this first stanza. Oh, the ball's on the ground. Barber fumbled it off the snap. There's a scramble down there, and it squirts out to the tailback, and that's Tanner Jackson, who will pick it up back inside the 35. So it actually moved around a couple of times before it was secured, and it ends up costing Leo about 4 yards on first down.
Yeah, that's another break for the Norwell defense. There is, as we said, offenses are struggling here. As defenses, we don't want them to lack any focus here. We want them to stay focused, and we'll see what they do here on second, about 15. This is a good spot for the Norwell defense to be in, as we preached earlier, and get a stop here makes third down even harder for Leo.
Barber the snap, hands it off right. Oh,
nice
man,
job.
Drugged down from behind. That was Ethan Crawford on the carry. Joel Rinkenberger getting him from the backside.
Yeah, and he's having a great game right now. He's fired up. He's excited for this game, as Blitz listed him as one of the top 5 players in the area to watch, and he's living up to that right now.
Rink leading this Norwell defense in tackles with 10 through the first 2 games of the season, and of course that's not with complete playing time, as Norwell has been in control of both of their first games. It's the first deficit they've faced all season long. It's worth noting that. And Leo coming off a 17-point loss last week after a 50-point win over Woodland in week 1. Barber's looking to throw this time. The lefty throws. It's caught in stride, and a first down for Leo across the 50-yard line. Ethan Crawford came bursting out of the backfield with speed. A perfect dart pass from Jackson Barber to catch Crawford in stride, and he converts on the 3rd and long.
Yeah, linebacker's got to pick him up, but that's also a tough linebacker on running back matchup there. Leo just found a matchup they liked and went with it, and they succeeded there for a first down.
So, ball resting at midfield. 5.5 left here in this first half of play. 6-0 Leo. Pitch, Crawford. 3rd consecutive play, Crawford's touched the football offensively. Got through 1 tackler, got through a 2nd tackler.
Like
Late flags come in on 2 separate plays. Could be offsetting penalties here. We don't know what the far side one was, but I got to think the one across the 40 was probably a hold downfield on Leo.
Yeah, as Luke Graff was tackled to the ground there.
So there might be a bit of a discussion here as 2 separate fouls on this particular play. It was a 1st and 10 from the midfield stripe. And they'll talk about how to enforce the penalties here. And again, haven't been short on flags so far in this first half, and
plenty of penalties.
Okay, so, well, a couple personal fouls, and they're all going to offset. But if they're all going to offset, then you replay first down. So, Coach Gerber asking for an explanation. So, yeah, they're putting it back on the left hash, and we'll just do it all over again. A couple personal fouls there. Coach Gerber looking for some kind of explanation, but appears to have all been sorted out at this point. We think. So Leo will try again from the 50-yard line. 5 to go here in this first half. Neither team has scored offensively. Norwell's given up 13 points in 2.5 games on the season. None of those have been caused by the offense. Norwell again lining up with that 5-man front, really stacking the box as they should. Barber back. A fake and hits to the right side. Barber's got a little bit of speed, cuts back, gets out of the arms of Luke Graff before being wrangled down near the 30-yard line by Bo Morgan, who finally came in to finish him off. But a pickup of 18 on first down as Leo moves the chains again.
Yeah, last time they ran that quarterback sweep there, they got sniffed out, but Leo stuck with it, ran it again, succeeded there by a gain of 15. Norwell defense looks tired here. They're going to really have to dig deep for this Leo offensive drive to stop them.
You know, you bring up a good point, Bo. You kind of touched on it on the first drive of the game. You thought Norwell looked a little fatigued defensively. Why could that be?
Yeah, it's Leo offense. I mean, they're stacking the box. They're running the ball 24/7. I mean, big boys.
And not a ton there on first down. Norwell pushing him back, as I think it was Caden Miller who got the call.
Yeah, going off what I was just what I was just talking about is, I mean, they're just constantly running run plays right at you. They're just hammering it right at you. You never really get a play off, as you never should. But I mean, it's different in this instance, as you got 8 or 9 guys in the box for the Norwell defense, and they're all honing in. And it's not just physically demanding, like I said, it's mentally demanding, as you never really know where the ball's going.
2nd down and 7 on the 29. 3.5 left in this first half. Pitch, Crawford, right side, not a lot of room, tries to cut it back, and snuffed out again by Norwell's defense, who doesn't allow a whole lot there on that 2nd down run, maybe a couple. And it'll bring down about a 3rd and 6. Joel Rinkenberger with his hands all over that tackle again.
It's a big 3rd down here for the Norwell defense. This would be a big stop for Norwell to get off the field here, as they got Leo at 3rd and 6. You gotta think that a field goal would be kicked if we stopped him here, but never know.
I think Leo's probably just outside the range of Carson McCauley. And with a 3rd and 5 situation, would likely go for it anyway. There's a handoff left. Big run, tripped up right at the end by Bo Morgan, but they give it off to the tailback, or the halfback, rather, Tanner Jackson, who also lines up as a wide receiver in some plays. And the Lions are able to convert a clutch 3rd down once again.
Yeah, it's tough for the Norwell defense, but like I said, they're going to really have to dig deep here, as they thought they had a stop there, and then you get a couple penalties. Leo drive keeps rolling, and these are the drives that really tire you out.
Norwell's defense has been on the field for a long time. Caden Miller up the middle. Miller got a couple blocks, close to another 1st down, as he'll be just shy, but he's got it close to the 10-yard line. And this has just been a well-executed drive by Leo.
Yeah.
Would be huge going into the half, especially considering Norwell gets the football to start the 3rd quarter. As the clock ticks towards 2 minutes remaining. We talked about Norwell executing this kind of drive against Heritage last week, where they bled the clock out. This is exactly what Leo's doing right now. Barber, a 2nd down and short. And they're just going to push it forward, and they got a real nice push off the snap inside the 5-yard line as they march closer, and they'll set themselves up for a 1st and goal.
Yeah, Barber just kind of snapped the ball, went behind big number 67 there, his best offensive lineman, and got what he needed as its 1st and goal here. This Norwell defense is be huge for the Norwell team as a whole to dig deep here and just.
And at this point, you got to hold him to 3.
That's right.
Because Leo is likely going to get points. McCauley is 8 for 8 on PATs and has made the only field goal he's kicked this year, which was last week against Mooresville. It was a 39-yarder, so plenty of distance to that as well. Pre-snap penalty again. We've become really accustomed to that here in this first half.
He'll play dead. I'm thinking it's an encroachment.
Yeah.
It is.
This will put it on the 2.5. Norwell's, the penalties have been an issue again. Granted, the whistles have been pretty often here so far in this first half, but I'm telling you, Leo has been able to force Norwell into some silly mistakes. Norwell was good penalty-wise coming into tonight. We talked about the fact that they really cleaned that up in week 2 after a host of penalties against Jay County in the opener. But now it seems that Norwell is kind of letting some old habits bite him again here in this first half of week 3.
Yeah, and the penalties, like I said, are a killer. I mean, they killed their first drive. Like you said, it's just, I mean, they had a false start there, and then they had a hold that just kind of halted their first drive, and then they've had a couple penalties here. It's aided Leo in this drive, so penalties against a good team are a momentum killer, as the penalties against Jay County weren't as much, is because we really could get whatever Norwell wanted. But I mean, against a good team, they're going to capitalize on those penalties you make, and because they're silly mistakes, or that we got to clean up.
Leo seeking to capitalize in what would be the first offensive score for either team here in this first half. If you're just joining us, DJ Allen picked off Eli Riley on his first throw of the game early in the first quarter and took it back about 2 yards to the house as Norwell was backed up inside their own 5, and that's been the only score of this first half, as we expected, a defensive battle. Barber hands it off inside, close to the end zone. It's a touchdown. Leo has scored their first offensive touchdown of the ball game, and they take a 12-0 lead here with 1:22 left in the first half.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what Norwell will do when they get the ball here with 1:22 left. 2 timeouts left. I don't assume they try anything fancy, but we'll see here as they will get the ball after halftime. So,
now, what also might be interesting will be to see whether Leo will go for 2 here. It looks like they're going to be going for the pair. Jackson Berber, the quarterback, will stay on the field. Play clock ticking down. Leo's got all 3 timeouts, so that's not a problem. Yep, they are going to go for 2. They went for 2 the first time after a Norwell penalty and didn't get it. Barber, the pitch, Crawford to the outside. Crawford is in. Leo converts on the 2-point conversion and has a 14-0 lead here in the closing moments of the first half.
Yeah, that's big for Leo to convert on that, make it a 2-touchdown lead. And Norwell should not have their heads down at all. I mean, it's not like the ball game's out of reach by any point right now. So I think Norwell should keep their head up. I know they know the adjustments they need to make at half because they still have 1:22 before then. But I mean, they know the adjustments they'll have to make, and it'll still be a hard-fought game here in the second half.
Yeah, it's difficult to imagine what Norwell is going to try to do here because you have a couple of different options, all right? You have one option says you go real conservative. Leo does have all 3 timeouts, so if they want and they get a good kickoff here and perhaps have good coverage and push Norwell back, they can use those timeouts and try to add on to their 14-point lead. For Norwell, if you want to try to go hurry and try to get yourself into maybe long field goal range or try to score a touchdown or any points of any kind, you've got to go quick, but remember that Norwell's passing offense has been non-existent in this first half. The only Riley hasn't completed a pass in this first half. The only pass he did complete was to DJ Allen, the DN for Leo, and it was taken back for 6. So, a lot of things to weigh, but, I mean, based on your performance offensively, especially in the passing game, which we thought Norwell had a decent chance to exploit Leo in this first half.
Yeah.
With 170 yards in the air last year in that 3-2 loss, Leo has definitely worked on that and taken that away so far away from the Norwell offense.
Their coverage downfield has been astounding, but also Norwell's coverage on their O-line has been astounding too, so it'll be interesting.
Great kick by McCauley back to the 1, but Graft is able to return it. Has a bit of a hole, stopped near the 20. So just an average return, and Norwell will get it in average position with 1:16 to go here in the opening half. 14-0 Leo, a pick 6 by Allen in the first quarter, and then a really long drive by Leo that ate up most of the second quarter, and they finished it off with a 2-point conversion after scoring with 1:22 left in the first half, has our 14-0 score here in the closing moments of this first stanza. Riley will line up in the gun. He's got Ringer back there with him. 4 receivers, 3 to the right, 1 to the left. He keeps it, and he's drugged down after about a gain of a yard. Coach Jared Souter choosing not to use his timeouts as we tick towards a minute.
Norwell goes with the quarterback draw there, kind of trying to catch Leo in a blitz or off guard there, see if Eli could find a hole and pick up 8 or 10 yards, but instead he picks up a couple. Leo sniffs it out. Makes for a long second down.
We're inside of 45 seconds now. Norwell not in any kind of hurry here, so I think kind of what we expected is they're going to try to go pretty conservative and score on their first possession of the second half. Graft has a little bit of room to the outside, but brought down across the 25-yard line by that D tackle Landon Livingston, who we pumped up in the pregame a little bit. D1 talented lineman, no doubt about it. Norwell doesn't have to snap it again. They're inside of 20 seconds.
So they're kind of scrambling, but also they're taking it to halftime here.
Yeah, Norwell is not going to run a play. We don't think, unless there's a timeout of some sort by either side, as the Knights just kind of stand around, let the clock expire on this first half, and Leo has themselves a 14-0 lead. They were 38-14 favorites. We didn't think the 38 was a reasonable number, but the offensive struggles for Norwell were well noted in that first half. We'll take a break and come back and talk it over in the Ossian State Bank halftime show. This is Norwell Football on WellsCountyVoice.com, part of the Voice Sports Network.
Kathy Peterson of the Steffen Group is part of a select group of real estate and auction professionals that are changing the game of how real estate and auction transactions are handled. With a strong background in customer service, Kathy believes helping people is the most precious gift she can give and is committed to being a partner with her clients through the entire transaction. Contact Kathy Peterson at the Steffen Group at 824-6353 or drop her a message at Kathy, C-A-T-H-I-E Peterson at SteffenGRP.com.
Serving Bluffton and all of Wells County, Bluffton Rentco offers the biggest, cleanest, and most reliable selection of equipment around. They offer small and large equipment like lifts and skid loaders, to lawn and landscaping tools, along with home improvement and construction rental equipment. Bluffton Rentco can handle all of your rental needs, including party rentals. Visit BlufftonRentco.com to view their large selection of rental items, located at 975 North Main Street in Bluffton. Serving Ossian since 1938, Ossian Hardware is your best choice for hardware, paint, lawn and garden rental, and so much more. Stop in today for all of your project needs and be rewarded for making your purchases at Ossian Hardware with their Best Rewards program. Stop in for more information. Knowledgeable, friendly service is what you'll get at Ossian Hardware. Stay connected at OssianHardware.com or on Facebook.
American Mortgage Service Company, located at 1169 North Main Street in Bluffton. We specialize in helping individuals realize their dream of homeownership by providing a top-notch, best mortgage experience. We offer a wide variety of loan programs and the most current rates available. Contact Angie Top or Jessica Best at 260-353-3300 or apply online at bluffton.americanmortgage.com. That's 260-353-3300.
American Mortgage, Equal Housing Lender, Indiana State 11063, NMLS 8246.
You don't have to sit at your desktop to listen to games on the Voice Sports Network. Take the game wherever you go. There are multiple ways to tune in, on your laptop, your tablet, or even on your smartphone. Tune into games on the Voice Sports Network at work, in your car, or even at the game. Be sure to tell your friends and family, and thanks for choosing the Voice Sports Network.
Those moments of solitude
is filled with fabulous golf courses that offer a variety of experiences and are as diverse and distinct as the regions they're in. And there is one right here in your backyard that you shouldn't miss. Green Valley Golf Club, located at 2635 East, 150 North in Bluffton. You deserve a little time on the greens, so book your tee time, brush off your spikes, and get ready to play. Green Valley Golf Club, located at 2635 East, 150 North in Bluffton, just east of the Stone Quarry.
Head on out to Green Valley to hit some balls on their driving range or putting green. Call 824-4510 to reserve your tee time. Green Valley, where your friends play.
And welcome back to Leo. Norwell trailing the Lions 14-0 here at the halftime break. And Bo, let's talk about that first half a little bit before we give you a little bit of a score update from around the area here tonight on this gorgeous Friday night here in Leo Cedarville. The offensive struggles have been noted for both teams, although really both teams have gotten success at points throughout the game. Norwell had moments where they got some chunk plays, especially from Max Ringer, which was basically their offense in that first half. Leo had moments as well from Caden Miller on that first drive, and then more notably Ethan Crawford on the second drive. We're unlikely to see Carson Hepner probably for the rest of this game after he went off after fumbling in that first half, towards this near sideline, looked to have a bit of a shoulder issue. So we're unsure if we're going to see him again, but probably won't play a big factor. The pick six by DJ Allen on Eli Riley's pass, of which he did not complete any in that first half, which is a big point to hit on. But let's kind of put this all in perspective. Norwell's facing their first any kind of bit of adversity in this season, and I think Coach Gerber is going to learn a lot about his squad here in the next 24 minutes.
Look, they've had, 3 or 4 drives, offensive drives Norwell has. I mean, the clock's running that fast where you're not going to get the most opportunities. Teams. So, with that being said, Norwell needs to realize that every opportunity they have, they need to capitalize on. The fumble there at the Leo own 46-yard line, they had started in Leo territory, did not convert a first down there and continue that drive. They put together a good drive. A couple penalties kind of halted that. Leo defense is doing a nice job of not giving Norwell big plays. I mean, they are getting 5 or 6 yard plays, but no big plays. I think Leo's just done a really good job in pass coverage, as Eli, every time he drops back to pass, he's either forced to throw it away or that pick six there, or he's forced to scramble. So I think Norwell's getting good coverage, pass coverage, but I think Leo's countering that with great coverage down the field on Leo wide receivers.
How does Norwell improve offensively in the second half? Because for the most part, although we did note that the defense had moments of struggle and fatigue, especially towards the backside of that first half, the Knights defense was on the field for a tremendous amount of time in that second quarter. But how does Norwell counteract that and kind of clean up their mistakes and try to punch the ball into the end zone, which is something they're going to have to do to get back in this ball game?
Yeah, exactly. I think Norwell counters with what they did on that drive they had going there. They just go back to that. I mean, I think Coach Gerber could kind of vary up the plays there as he's seeing what he likes, but he's also running, I think, a little too much, and a little more variety for the Leo defense would kind of throw them off guard. But I think Leo's done a nice job stopping the Norwell offense. I think the Norwell offense just needs to clean up the silly mistakes, the holds, the false start there by Rinkenberger out the wide receiver position is something you don't want to see. But, clean up the silly mistakes, go back to what's working, and finish the drives that you start.
Why don't we take a quick break, and we'll return with the second half of our Ossian State Bank halftime show here on WellsCountyVoice.com.
Farms, an online meat market, has a heart for people and a focus to provide a variety of locally raised, 100% grass-fed or grain-fed beef, pork, and poultry. Their shopping experience is easy. Simply visit HoosierCreekFarmsLLC.com, fill up your cart with high-quality, locally raised meats, and choose to have it delivered in an insulated box right to your front door. Or you can pick it up in Bluffton or Huntington. You can find recipes and cooking tips by following them on Facebook and Instagram. Begin cooking with confidence. Hoosier Creek Farms, high quality, locally raised meats. HoosierCreekFarmsLLC.com.
American Mortgage Service Company, located at 1169 North Main Street in Bluffton. We specialize in helping individuals realize their dream of homeownership by providing a top-notch, best mortgage experience. We offer a wide variety of loan programs and the most current rates available. Contact Angie Top or Jessica Best at 260-353-3300 or apply online at bluffton.americanmortgage.com. That's 260-353-3300.
This is not an offer for the extension of credit or a commitment to lend. American Mortgage, NMLS ID 8246. Angie Top, NMLS ID 478736. Jessica Best, NMLS ID 613932. American Mortgage is an equal housing lender. Nick Huffman, a Bluffton High School graduate, is ready to help you buy, sell, or build your dream home. If you're ready to start a new chapter in your life, now's the time. With historic low interest rates, houses are moving at lightning speed. Whether you need single-family, multifamily, agricultural, commercial, property management, mixed use, or land development, give Nick a call or text at 827-8255 or send him a message on Facebook at Real Estate by Nick Huffman. Nick is located at the Steffen Group at 107 West Market Street in Bluffton. His number again is 827-8255. Do you or a loved one need extra help managing your finances or making sure monthly bills are getting paid correctly and on time? Are you concerned that you or a senior parent may inadvertently provide sensitive financial information to scammers and fraudsters? Then contact Senior Money Life today at 260-296-0437 to get the help you need to stay safe and enjoy life more. Senior Money Life, located in Bluffton, Indiana, is here to help make life easy, providing you with a wide range of services including banking assistance, bill pay, budgeting assistance, financial monitoring, and insurance advocacy. Contact Preston Carr, Daily Money Manager at 260-296-0437 to learn more, or visit their website, seniormoneylife.com. Senior Money Life is a division of Christian Care Retirement Community. Senior Money Life is not a financial institution or a trust company.
At Corrective Chiropractic, we offer individualized treatment plans for patients of all ages, from infants to elderly, and even during pregnancy. Have you ever experienced a workplace, sport, or auto accident, or just keep suffering from chronic pain? Corrective Chiropractic can help. Knee, neck, shoulder, or back pain, headaches, migraines, allergies, muscular tension? Corrective Chiropractic can help.
I'm Dr. Josh Bell from Corrective Chiropractic, serving Bluffton, Yoder, Decatur, Bern, Montpelier, and the surrounding area to help you feel and function better. Schedule your appointment today at 260-353-1400 and let Corrective Chiropractic help you along your journey to health and wellness. Corrective Chiropractic, 360 North Main Street, Suite A, Dutch Mill Plaza, Bluffton, Indiana.
And back here at Leo, Derek Decker and Christian Bohata. Blessed to be bringing you the action here tonight at Leo as the Lions have jumped on the Knights 14-0 here coming out of the first half break. We've got about 5 minutes until the second half starts. Leo was receiving votes, by the way, in the weekly 4A poll, and Norwell got a couple of votes in the 3A poll as well. So both of these teams are highly regarded, although the sample size admittedly is pretty small still here in just week 3 of this high school football season that has been impacted by COVID, and a couple of teams have had issues playing at times, throughout the season. DeKalb not playing this week. Belmont is just getting back into the action this week as they have taken a trip up to Columbia City to kick off their season in Northeast 8 action, and we'll try to find some scores throughout the area. It looks like throughout the SAC, Snyder is leading Concordia 7-0, which is a bit of a surprise. The Panthers have had a tough start to this 2020 season. East Noble on top of Huntington North early 7-0. Let's see. New Haven is at Pioneer tonight picking up a game. Of course, they were scheduled to have DeKalb, and they're trailing 14-6 in the first half of that game. And that's kind of wraps up what we've got into the scoreboard so far here in the early stages of this week. And remember, it's going to be tough to find halftime scores in finals since Norwell's a team that's going to play in a lot of really short games this year simply because they run the ball a lot. And now you have they're playing a team that runs the ball all the time in Leo. So this is a game that's probably, we knew coming in wasn't going to take all that long, although that could change as Norwell tries to, change their style and change their approach to get on the scoreboard first of all and then try to get back into this game in the second half.
Yeah, and like we talked earlier in the halftime show, I think the key to that is Norwell finishing drives and putting in a little misdirection there in their offense, not being so predictable there, I guess is the word I'm looking for that Leo defense. And it's kind of been easy for Leo to predict where Norwell is going to run the ball to, as they've had success running the ball up the middle with Max Ringer getting 5 or 6 yards on almost every play, but Norwell defense has impressed me this first half as they only gave up really that one long drive that forced a turnover. They've kept the team in the game as they normally do, and besides that one pick six there from Riley at the 2-yard line, I think Norwell has done a nice job in the first half, and I think it's not too many adjustments they need to make at halftime to stay in this ball game. They just need to execute what their game plan was, and I think they'll catch Leo a little off guard here coming out after halftime as they get the ball to start the half.
South Adams is on top of Bluffton late in the first half, 32-7. East Noble is now up 14-0 on Huntington North, but that's late in the first half, and I think a lot of people thought that was probably going to be a blowout. So that's an interesting score from the Northeast 8, as well as we've got Homestead on top of Bishop Luers at the break now, 21-0. So getting you updated on a couple of other halftime scores from around the area. Still yet to find any scores across the rest of the Northeast State, but we'll work on that as we move forward throughout the evening. Got about 90 seconds till the start of the second half, although that clock will reset a little bit to give Norwell time to warm up. While they do that, let's take a quick timeout and return after these words from our sponsors. This is WellsCountyVoice.com.
Bluffton Roofing Incorporated prides themselves on developing a long-term relationship with their customers, listening to their needs and suggesting the proper course of action, be it preventative maintenance, repair, or replacement. Bluffton Roofing and owner James Worth are GAF certified and are certified weather stopper roofing contractors. Bluffton Roofing is fully insured, protecting you and your home. Call 824-3564 or 307-6313. Bluffton Roofing Incorporated. Quality first home improvements.
Are you taking the first step towards a healthier you? Or are you just tired of the same workout? From beginners to fitness veterans, the Greater Fort Wayne YMCA is the place for you. We offer a full range of workout equipment, personal trainers, certified instructors, a full line of classes, an indoor pool, and so much more. Have peace of mind when you work out with childcare available. The Greater Fort Wayne YMCA is so much more. Join today. Visit fwymca.org.
Hello, this is Tim Steffen Financial Group. Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving forward. We must balance staying safe and moving forward towards our needs and goals. We are here to help you with your future planning. Steffen Financial Group, located at 110 West Cherry Street, Bluffton, Indiana, would like to help you with your retirement, Roth IRAs, investments, and savings plans. Call me, Tim Steffen, or Rhonda Vandentop, 260-824-8175. And at that same location is Tim Steffen Insurance. We like to help folks with their personalized Medicare supplement, health, life, and long-term care plans. Securities and insurance offered through Thurston Springer Financial, registered broker-dealer, member FINRA and SIPC, and Indiana Insurance Agency. Corporate headquarters in OSJ 9000 Keystone Crossing, 7th floor, Indianapolis, Indiana 467240. Tim Steffen is a registered associate of Thurston Springer and is doing business as Steffen Financial Group. Steffen Financial Group is independent of Thurston Springer.
And welcome back to Leo. A couple minutes to kill before the start of our second half of play. Leo leading 14-0. So glad to be with you here on this beautiful Friday night here in northeastern Indiana. Football has, proceeded not as normal, but as somewhat as normal, as there are some fans in the stands. Of course, a limited capacity for both teams, although Leo allowed more fans tonight as the home team. A little bit wider bleachers and a bit of a student section as well. But here on the Norwell sideline, about 100 parents and family members were admitted tonight, and it's so good to see everybody in the stands. That's something that we've taken for granted over the last 15, 20 years, and really over the course of all of our lifetimes. And now we're realizing that you can't really take anything for granted. So it's good that everybody's out here tonight. We did have a performance from the Leo Marching Band at halftime, so we were glad to see that as well. And we've gotten to the delight of the cheerleaders as well, and all the coaching staff being out here. So, it's nice to be as close to normal as you can be during COVID times, although hopefully we'll be out of the pandemic before we know it and before basketball and baseball season comes around, and we'll continue to move on with our lives. But Norwell is trailing 14-0 here. More notably, their lack of offense in that first half was, probably the biggest point of concern going forward into the second half. But they'll start offensively, and they'll get the football here out of the break.
That's right. I'm excited to see the adjustments Coach Josh Gerber made, and we'll see if he made any, and see Norwell start off with the ball here to start the second half. And this would be a good, well put together drive here if they can put it in the end zone. Kind of change the tone of this game, as Leo's coming into the second half with momentum, up 2 scores. But when you're only up 1 score, it puts a little more pressure on you. And I know the Norwell defense can perform as they did in the first half, so we'll see what Norwell offense can do here.
All right, so Carson McCauley will be back there to kick it off. The left footer puts his foot into it and kicks a high end-over-end kick towards the goal line. It's fumbled by Luke Graff, but picked up near the 10-yard line. Graff has a bit of an opening, and is knocked down by Carson Hepner, who has rejoined the club on the field. So interesting to see that. But, that's definitely a storyline to watch as we move forward over the course of this second half.
That's right. He's the one that got hit who caused that fumble. Went off with a limp shoulder there, so we'll see that.
Yeah, hopefully we've worked out our camera issues over the past 2 weeks. We're near dusk now, and you can still see a nice clear picture, so that's always a relief.
Yep.
Eli Riley back out there, did not complete a pass in that first half, ran a few times effectively, but Norwell turned it over once and twice on downs. Riley rolls to his right. He's going to throw deep over the top on the first play. Tripped up near the 50-yard line. No penalty flag. Luke Graff got his feet tangled up with the corner, Damian Gutekunst, and no penalty marker. We'll bring it back for a 2nd and 10.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that called for a penalty or not. I think both guys just kind of got tied up. Both guys fell. Interesting as, of course, Norwell side's going to fight their fight. Leo side will fight their fight. Going to be 2nd down here for Norwell.
It's always a difficult vantage point from up here, although we have the best seat in the house, I think. We're on the 50-yard line and just gorgeous. I mean, really, for what we've gotten and the fact that, it was difficult to even get here, we're very pleased that we're being able to bring this broadcast to you. Max Ringer gets the call here on 2nd down, but he gets to the 26-yard line, a pickup of a couple there on 2nd down. We'll call it 3rd down and about 8.
So interesting. We see Coach Gerber come out of the locker room taking a shot downfield.
I like the aggressiveness.
I like it as well. Second down play is even more crucial after that. But
Bo, they almost, even if you don't complete the pass like they did there, they almost got bailed out with a penalty. So, that really is, it's tough to lose in that kind of situation. 3rd down and 8 for the Knights on the 26. Riley has some time. Riley now flushed out of the pocket and reaches for that 1st down, but he's not going to get it as he comes tumbling over the Norwell bench and kicking down a Gatorade cooler in the process as he is chased out prior to being across the 1st down marker.
Good athletic play by Eli there. It's always scary to see the player going full speed at the water jugs there, but good athletic play to get out of the way of those is...
Norwell's keeping the offense on the field here. Now Riley's back to punt.
Yeah.
So, this is
that would have been an interesting decision.
Well, Norwell kind of reads punts, so this is a situation where you might look and see if you have it, and if you don't, then punt it away. Riley, of course, is the normal punter for the Knights. Rolling to his right, he's going to kick it away. So not as good as the first one, but should have good carry to it.
Block in the back there.
Boy, no call. That one that was pretty clear. That should have been a block in the back.
And a flag comes from the side.
I tell you what, he's about to get another one. Yep, he just got another one. So we've got a sideline warning, I think, on Norwell. I really hope he doesn't go to unsportsmanlike on the first time. Remember, this is Coach Gerber we're talking about. Now, we're biased, but we have been involved with this guy for a long, long time.
Well, I'm not sure if it was so much Coach Gerber talking as it was.
That's a good point.
An assistant or what.
Well, at that point, though, you usually kind of turn it off and kind of block that out if you can. Unless it's egregious.
What the call here is as they're talking.
This is not going to go well for Norwell.
They clearly missed a block in the back, though.
Yeah, I think that was probably the clearest of the night, and they do give unsportsmanlike. I tell you what, that's a real tough call.
Yeah.
That's just tough. On the sideline, I just really don't understand that in a conference game where you're going to get yelled at from the sideline sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh, no. All right, this is getting kind of ridiculous. Brody Bolin, I think that's Eli Riley who's talking to the official, and the white hat just gave him a penalty, and Norwell's going to get 30 yards in penalties to start this drive. I tell you what.
I wonder what Eli said because I know
hope
Eli.
It was bad.
I know Eli, and that's not Eli. So these refs are a little flag happy here to start the half.
Well, they've been flag happy all night, and I hate to really kind of beat on the officials because we're both officials.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's a well-handled situation.
No,
Going
not at all.
back-to-back penalties on a team that has never really caused problems historically.
Exactly.
I just don't understand. And this is 30 yards of clear, this is the officials injecting themselves into the ball game.
Yeah.
And now after a punt, Leo's going to start on the Norwell 39.
Yeah.
To me,
see, and
that's just kind of
ridiculous. Instead of the officials officiating, they're kind of just taking control, and that should not be what happens. I mean, of course you take control when need be, but
well, here's the reality. As we've got a lot of Norwell folks kind of complaining around us, but the reality is you've got to control it before you get to the point where you have to throw flags.
Yeah.
That's the point.
Exactly.
And they didn't, and that's
Exactly.
why we're in the situation we're at now.
Yep.
So in any case, Leo's going to start on the Norwell 39, a huge turn of events in this football game.
Yeah, and the one thing to know is that can fire up a Norwell defense, so let's see how they react here.
It's a handoff. Not a lot there on first down. That was Ethan Crawford, the halfback, who gets a couple on first down.
Like I said, that gives you momentum when you get a couple flags called on you that you think surely should not have been called on you. That, tell you what, that lights a fire. It lights a fire into me right now as I'm just calling the game, but that lights a fire into you as a player. And yeah, so hopefully this Norwell defense capitalizes on that.
Yeah, that's something I haven't seen in a long time in a high school game. Back-to-back penalties on something that wasn't, there was no ejection. There was nothing like that. It was just a complaint of a pretty obviously missed call, which that's going to happen. You're going to have a missed call. I'm not complaining about that. The fact of the matter is, got to be able to take it to some degree, unless it's as long as it's within the bounds of normalcy. Going to be carried across the first down marker is Ethan Crawford again, as Leo's going to move the chains across the 30-yard line for Norwell.
And then the opposite side of that is it could distract you from the game as well, as Leo's offense is, you can't be distracted when facing Leo's offense, so hopefully they can get their stuff together here. And
well, this certainly hasn't been short of entertaining to this point. A lot of flags in a game that we didn't think was going to have a lot of penalties. Barber to the left.
There's a hold.
There's a hold.
Yep.
Barber actually hit a Norwell defender in the back. Barber's chased out of bounds after a couple. Leo fans want a block or a late hit on Norwell, and there's no penalty there. Oh, boy. Joel Rinkenberger kind of getting excited over there.
That was a good hit there by Rinkenberger, but I think they're kind of praising the refs there as they finally called a hold.
Well,
we never want to see players get involved, but like I said, Riley getting that unsportsmanlike, that's...
Well, after somebody on the sideline got an unsportsmanlike. Like I said, the first time that usually goes unnoticed. There is a hold. There's the official call to push it back to about 1st and 20 for Leo.
Well, this is huge for the Norwell defense. It's 1st and 20.
Yeah, you got to get
Leo's essentially got to get 2 first downs here, and you can't give that up for this Norwell defense. So I mean, they gotta buckle down here and really get a stop.
Nine and a half left here in this third quarter, and it's 14-0 Leo. Norwell was unable to do a whole lot offensively on their first drive of the second half.
Yeah,
there's a preset penalty. Boy, I'm telling you what, this has just been
at some point,
second half.
At some point, a Norwell coach has got to be standing there telling their guy to back up.
Third encroachment penalty.
Yeah.
That's just from scrimmage. They also had encroachment on the PAT in the first quarter.
That's right. I almost said something, but thought they might let it go, and they didn't. I mean, they had it. His whole head was over the football. So, I mean, it's blatant. It's easy to call. So Norwell's got to make that adjustment.
Well, it's been a choppy third quarter. A lot of penalties, a lot of controversial penalties. But Leo is at the 34-yard line with the 1st and 16. Barber has some trouble with the snap, and he gives it off left. Boy, a lot of late action going on inside. This is becoming a chippy football game.
Yeah, this is. And
it's a conference game,
and
you expected that. Norwell is facing adversity for the first time this season. Leo really wants to get back on the right track after kind of getting embarrassed, albeit by a very good team, but on their own turf last week against Mooresville. And so both teams playing for a lot here.
Yeah, these next 2 plays are crucial for this Norwell defense. Can't give up anything big to Leo here.
9 minutes left here in this third quarter. It's moved monumentally slow. Second down, and long for the Lions. Barber's going to throw. The lefty to the right. Riley picks it off inside the 20. Eli Riley, after the penalty on the previous drive, redeems himself with an interception, and the Knights create a turnover.
That's a great statement by Eli Riley, kind of just making up for that penalty there. You know, knowing Eli personally, I know that he wouldn't say anything too bad to cause that penalty, but you know what? I also know Eli isn't going to quit.
Right.
And he surely doesn't there with a one-handed interception. Really nice play.
All right, well, that you talked about getting a play that can fire you up. There's the play.
That's right.
So Norwell's got to find a way to curb that enthusiasm into putting together a drive here.
That's right.
Max Ringer in the backfield again for Norwell, next to Riley, and he'll get the ball on first down. But again, as the Norwell fans kind of show their disgust on first down.
Yep.
A couple yards, but, really, Leo has shut that down for the most part after the first quarter.
Yeah, but, I mean, even Norwell fans showing some disgust, but, hey, 3 yards. I mean,
on first down.
3 yards on each play, that's first down, you know what I mean? So it's 2nd and 7 is not the worst. I mean, that's good. As long as you're getting yards on first down, as Ringer's kind of running off with a shoulder limp, that's
not good to see. John Colbert is in there.
Yeah.
Likely to see his first carry of the game at some point. Riley's holding his shoulder and talking to the trainer. So we'll get you more updates on that as we get them. Riley's going to throw. Instead, he pulls it down, keeps it, gets to the outside, tries to extend the Leo defense toward the sideline, and I think he gets the first down before running out of bounds untouched near the 30-yard line.
And that'll be a first down. It's a great play by Eli. As, like we've said, I mean, he hasn't completed a pass yet, but also he scrambled on 3 or 4 of the dropbacks.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if Leo's going to give him 5 or 6 yards, 5, 6, 7 yards on every dropback, then why not take it?
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, the middle of the field really disappears as Leo sells out on that pass coverage.
And that's why their coverage is so good on the receivers.
Right, exactly.
But on the other hand, if your front four don't have good pass coverage, then Eli's going to have all day to run.
You've got a dual-threat quarterback in there as well. Riley's going to pull it down again, try to reverse the field.
Oh.
Can't quite get out of the outstretched arms of a Leo defender in the face of Carson
And
Hefner.
that's interesting. I hope Eli doesn't have in his head that he can run, because I had Luke Graft wide open down the sideline. So, I mean, I get it's tough as a high school quarterback, but you got to make those decisions. Yeah, as we're happy to see the camera quality is sticking with us now.
We've been worried about that for weeks.
It's getting dark, and you guys can still see, so we're happy about that.
7.5. We're still working through our scoreboard inclusion issues, but we're happy that it's working at the moment, so we're just going to continue to work through our problems as we have them. 7 minutes left in this third quarter, 14-0 Leo.
Oh, botch
Riley
play.
stops,
Botch play.
and he gets sacked.
Yep. I think that was supposed to be a handoff to Colbert as they're all kind of looking to the sideline, but I think Colbert wasn't in the right play, and that's what you get when you get a backup running back in there. We took of note. Max Ringer came off the field, Colbert came in. That's tough.
Tanner Jackson was in there on the tackle for Leo, and it will go down as a sack. This clock continues to tick away, and you got to wonder how many more possessions Norwell's going to get.
That's right. I mean, 3 or 4 possessions in the first half.
Right.
I don't expect any more in this second half.
Riley under center. 3 receivers on this set. They throw it behind the line of scrimmage. It's a trick play. Bragi down the sideline to Luke.
Oh!
And it goes through his hands. They had him. Luke Graft was there, and Norwell can't convert. That was, other than the catch, a perfectly executed play by Norwell.
I mean, perfect. I mean, there's no better time to pull that out than on 3rd and long, and he did, and it was perfect. I mean, right in his hands, and you can't ask for a better throw by Isaiah Bragi. I mean, Graft had to slow down a little bit, right in his hands, couldn't come up with it. Norwell's faced with a 4th down.
Got to punt.
Got to punt it away.
Yeah, inside their own 30. Well,
Man,
you really can't complain about
play.
that. I mean, that's exactly what you want. You had everything but the catch, and that really stings, but what else are you going to do?
Exactly.
So now you've got a situation where Norwell's going to be forced to punt again, and Riley is back there. So he takes a couple extra steps back. Eli gets it away. Low, wobbling kick. And this is going to be tried to be returned.
Job.
And Isaiah Bragi was all over it. I don't know why Rylan Crawford thought it was a good idea to try to return that on the short hop, but he did. And fortunately for Leo, he's able to hang on to the football.
Yeah, nice job by Isaiah there. Just broke down, didn't let him get away by any means, because if he got away, he's getting another 10 or 15 yards before Norwell defenders there. So great job by Isaiah in open field.
And that was a really that was just a classic. A lot of good mechanics on that tackle. That was just perfect. It's exactly what you want on punt coverage. And again, kind of redeeming himself after some blunders in the first half.
Yeah, that's right.
So Leo starts their first drive of the second drive of the second half on the 34-yard line. A pitch this time out left. That's Tanner Jackson towards the sideline. Morgan whiffs on him, and then Riley knocks him out at the sideline. And I think that was pretty close to being a late hit, as the official saying something, the side judge saying something to Riley on the way out. It's interesting that Riley's been caught up in the commotion here in this second half. But Leo picks up 8 on first down.
Yeah, I think it gets to a point as a player where you've kind of had enough. I mean, and Riley's to that point, I'm assuming. And so he's going to do anything to help his team win. And he's certainly playing more aggressive here in the second half.
Barber.
Nice job.
Hand it off again. This was Caden Miller, and Isaiah Breggy was all over it from the snap.
And Isaiah, man, having a great second half. Start of the second half here. His first half wasn't greatest, but you know what? Second half, he's redeeming himself, and big stop here. Third down for Norwell.
So Leo is facing a 3rd and 4 on the 40. This is a big third down. If Norwell can get a stop here. Now the officials blow the play dead.
As a helicopter passes over.
Yeah, nice timing. I think Zach Christensen had a helmet issue. I don't know what's going on. They're trying to fix it. They have now.
What was the? I'm not sure what's going on.
I think the clock may have continued to run there. So, in any case, now they're ready to go.
Yep.
3rd down and 4. 5 minutes left in this third quarter, and Leo holding a 14-point lead. Barber fakes the handoff.
Keeps it.
Goes left. And no, they're not going to be able to push the pile forward. He is stopped well short of the first down.
Great job
by the Norwell. Pickup of 2, and it'll be 4th and 2, and Leo will likely punt again here in the third quarter.
Yeah, we've seen that play have success for this Leo team, but we've also seen Norwell stop it. And Norwell stopped at that time. Looks like Leo's going to bring their punt team out. Great stop by that Norwell team. Now, here's a time where they're going to get another possession. They need to capitalize on this possession.
Yeah, they simply have to, or the ball game's going to be close to being over.
That's right.
Especially considering how well Leo runs the football.
That's right.
All right, so Carson McCauley is back there, the senior, left-footed. Relatively low snap, but manageable. End-over-end kick back towards the 20. High bounce.
Get away from it.
Yeah, towards the sideline. This is just a seasoned punter that knows how to get it done as he nails Norwell inside the 5 for the second time tonight.
I'll tell you what, on turf, more times than not, you're going to get a bounce in your favor, and that's what Leo keeps getting tonight. And McCauley, I mean, that's just a great punt. You can't ask for better.
55 yards on the punt.
Woo. Longest punt we've seen this season for sure.
Mm-hmm. Just gorgeous, too.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this kid knows how to get it done.
Yeah.
Special teams has been pretty darn good tonight.
Well, this is interesting. Last time Norwell was backed up, of course, Leo had that pick 6 there the first quarter. So, I mean, let's see what the play calling here is for Norwell.
Okay, John Colbert's in there. We have not seen Max Ringer again since he came limping off with that shoulder issue that's been nagging him now for about a week. They hand it off to Colbert, who gets a few positive yards on first down. Kind of gets Norwell out of the shadow of their own end zone after he picks up 4 to make it 2nd down at 6.
Yeah, that's a good first down play there, backed up at the own 4-yard line. You couldn't ask for better. We got 2nd and 6. It's manageable. I'd look for him to run it again here.
Well, Norwell is still being pretty patient offensively, 3.5 minutes. But, again, like we said, you know, Norwell at some point is going to have to pick up the pace, because they've got a long, long way to go and still trail by 2 scores.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, you drive the field here, get a score, and stop them, and, I mean, you're just in this ball game. So,
you know, ideally, you know, you're going to have to start opening the playbook here
that's
late
right.
in the third quarter.
Right.
Riley's looking to throw this time. Over the middle, it's incomplete.
Yeah.
Well, that should have been caught, too.
Right through his hands.
That's another drop. 2. I mean, you know,
That's
at some point, and we have discussed Riley's struggles through the air, but that was a drop by Breggy.
Yeah, and that's 2 drops this half that are both big plays. That would have went for a first down, if not close. Made 3rd down a lot more better than 3rd and 6. It's interesting to see him pass there from their own 7, but I like opening the playbook, like you said. So let's see what they do here on 3rd and 6. Is A run up the middle, I'm guessing Leo is probably just going to sniff that out.
Yeah, Norwell is going to line up in the gun. Riley backed up to his own 2-yard line. Plenty of time to get the play off. Rankenberger comes back to the line of scrimmage. Riley's going to throw. Eli to the right. It is caught out there across the 10-yard line, but he's going to be short of the first down. And so Riley's first completion of the night. Actually, they're going to blow it dead, but I think he's still about a yard short.
Short as well.
Norwell's hoping for a generous spot here. It's near the 14, actually. That's a better spot than I thought they'd give. Oh, they're going to give him the first down. How about that?
Wow.
Well, I thought he was going to be a yard or two short, and a pretty generous spot moves the chains for Norwell. Sometimes you need a break to go your way.
That's right.
Seems to be about the first break they've had go their way in the second half.
Yeah.
And so now it keeps the drive alive, keeps things moving. They're on the 13-yard line, and the drive stays alive for the Knights.
Well, first down. You're not as backed up on your end zone, so the playbook opens up obviously a lot more. So see if they can keep this drive going.
Riley hands it off to Colbert. Just nothing.
He almost had his helmet ripped off there, it looked like, from up here. But
he did have his helmet ripped off.
Yeah, see, and that's interesting. No flag.
Yeah, it stops the clock as the umpire waves it dead. And Colbert now comes on, and Max Ringer comes back onto the field along with Bo Morgan.
That's good to see Ringer back on the field.
It is. Although you wonder, is this a situation where Ringer's back in the game because he's healthy or because he had to be? So, you don't really know.
I think it's more of a want to than a had to be.
It's what you
knowing
want.
the Ringers,
Fair
tough kids.
enough. Yeah.
So
we've gone up around those kids, so understand that. Looked like early motion. I think it's going to be a false start.
Yeah, I don't think Breggy there on the edge was set.
Yeah.
I think Eli snapped it before everybody was set.
It was close, but everybody was just about a half step too early.
Those silly penalties, man.
Yeah, Norwell's really shot themselves in the foot a number of times tonight, and it is coming back to bite them big time.
Yeah, I mean, instead of a 2nd and 6 or 7, you have a 2nd and 13. It's
Bo, it's kind of cliche, and we talk about eliminating the mistakes.
Yeah.
But in a football game where offense is going to be difficult to come by, you have to figure out a way to eliminate those mistakes, or you're not going to win on the road at a good football team.
Exactly, especially Leo, like we said, they're going to capitalize on those.
Right, exactly, they have.
Exactly. They have all game. They're going to continue to, so Norwell's going to have to make that change.
All right, so Ringer's back there with Riley. Morgan is split wide, along with Luke Graff to the left. Riley keeps it. Has some room. And is scurried out of bounds near the 17-yard line. So he picks up a good chunk of that penalty yardage. In fact, gets it all back and then a little bit. And it'll bring up 3rd and a handful for Norwell.
Another 3rd and long here. Another 3rd and 6. So we'll see what they do. They elected to pass the last time it was 3rd and 6. So a lot more passing going on in the second half from this Norwell offense than the first half. As, like I said, Eli's getting good pass protection as Leo's kind of selling out on the coverage. Not really blitzing linebackers.
Good news is that stopped the clock for a moment, but Riley has trouble with the snap, picks it up. He just has to throw this thing away, and he will. And unfortunately, that's going to take away any opportunity Norwell had to convert on that much-needed 3rd down, and so they'll have to punt from the backs to their own end zone again.
Yeah, and the penalty kind of just killed that. I mean, you pick up a good 3rd down, back to the end zone, pick up a good 3rd down. You have 2nd and about 6. You get a penalty, knocks you back to 2nd and about 11, pick up a couple more, make 3rd down harder. So, I mean, we've been preaching it all night, but you clean up the penalties, it's probably a whole different ballgame.
Well, Riley is on there to punt again. Minute and a half left in this 3rd quarter. Norwell has just not found any footing offensively. That's a low-line driving kick.
Okay.
And people like to whine about that, but that's a heck of a roll. It didn't get more than about 10 feet off the ground, but it's not going to roll to a stop until it gets to the 29-yard line. I mean, it's hard to complain about a punt like that.
Exactly. I mean, airtime is not crucial when it comes to
no return.
Yeah, exactly. So,
well, that turns into about a you know what? That's actually about a 60-yard punt for Riley. Heck of a roll. Bounced about their own 45 and got a roll of about 25 yards.
Yeah, and like I said, you can't complain.
Executed.
Norwell fans seem happy about that.
I would be too.
So,
All right, well, the situation is laid out in front of Norwell. They've got to get a stop. Basically, you're out of room for error defensively. If Leo's able to punch it in again, it pretty much seals the deal. It's 14-0. 72 seconds left. That's Norwell math for you. In this third quarter. And the T offense is back on the field for Leo. Barber will hand it off up the middle.
Job.
Not a lot there for Caden Miller.
Yeah, great job by that front five there. You know, I've been really impressed by front five as Leighton Bailey comes on for Riley here.
That's an interesting sub.
Yeah, and I think they're trying to give Riley a little break here.
Well,
I mean, he plays both ways. He plays special teams.
He does everything.
He does
always
everything.
has.
And exactly. And I'm sure Eli's accustomed to it, but at the same time, it's nice to get a little break here. So,
especially if Norwell can get a stop and get their offense back out of the field.
That's right.
Leo is in no sense of hurry here and shouldn't be. Oh, that's a handoff to the right. Big room out there for Ethan Jackson, and he's pulled down, and it's going to be a horse collar on Luke Graft. That's going to move the chains and get a first down for Leo.
See, and that's what makes Norwell fans a little uptight there is you have Colbert who gets his helmet ripped off and no call, and then
it's actually a face mask what they get him for.
Wow. See.
That could have happened. That was tough to see from this angle, but I find it hard to believe that he was able to get his hand on his face mask and also get his hand on the nameplate.
Yeah, exactly.
So it is what it is. It's a 5-yard penalty, and this puts it on the 43. So Leo moves the chains. They will have to snap it now one more time before the quarter's end. They do snap it. Barber keeps it, just goes right up the gut and gets a couple to take us to the end of the third quarter. So Norwell is unable to get across the hump and score in that third quarter, and it's still 14-0 going to our final quarter of play in the Northeast State opener here in Week 3 in Leo Cedarville. We're back in a minute. This is Norwell Football on WellsCountyVoice.com, part of the Voice Sports Network.
Hi, I'm David Morrison, President and CEO of Ossian State Bank. Welcome to this glimpse of our company.
Banking can be a difficult process, and without the right person to guide you, it can be long and tedious, also stressful. Ossian State Bank has been offering commercial and retail banking services to businesses and consumers in and around Wells County for over 107 years. We are the only locally owned and headquartered community bank in our county since 1912. Our team of bankers is professional, enthusiastic, and dedicated to helping you through every step of your journey. We continually strive to build long-lasting relationships with our customers while providing smart financial solutions that both improve and simplify your life. Come and experience for yourself today what a true community bank can help do for you.
It's a local thing.
And welcome back to Leo. The Lions on top of Norwell, 14-0 here as we enter our final quarter play. Last chance for Norwell to try to keep their undefeated season alive. They'll face a Belmont team next week that is likely going to struggle. So, they got a real chance to start 4-0 before they go to New Haven, but they've got an uphill battle waiting on them here to start this fourth quarter.
Yeah, I'm excited to see these guys in the trenches continue to work here, dig deep in the fourth quarter, and they fought hard all night.
Yep, it is a sweep. And a huge hole out there. Oh, boy. That was a juggernaut hit by Brody Bolin to finish off Carson Hepner, who's had a bit of a rough night. He came off the field with a shoulder injury in the first half, but he's able to move the chains. That's the important part for Leo. But, man, he took a lick from Bolin.
Yeah, that's the best feeling as a football player is you have a guy just standing there kind of already people on his legs, and you just kind of get a lick at him, and Bolin took advantage of it, put a nice hit on him, but nevertheless, Leo picked up a first down on that run, and Norwell needs to get a stop here.
Neither team used a timeout in that third quarter, and again, the official blows the play dead momentarily. It'll actually give Leo about 9 extra seconds that they could run off the play clock, or off the game clock, rather, but they won't choose to do that. It's a keeper by Barber, and he is sacked by Brody Bolin.
Bolin coming up big. Like I said, I like to see these guys continue to work in the fourth quarter. They've worked hard all game. Only giving up that one Leo offensive touchdown. I mean, it's astounding. So,
well, it's been a pretty fun game to watch. Norwell has not had the success that they were hoping to have offensively, but defensively they've been stout. They've given up one drive all game where Leo drove the field and scored right before the halftime. And, the only other offense created by either team tonight was a pick six by DJ Allen early in the first quarter on Norwell's first drive. So, it's hard to complain about the defense. We knew that was going to be good coming in. And, again, Norwell's going to get a bump for encroachment. And that's the fourth time now on plays from scrimmage. And, just a one collective groan from the Norwell faithful, as we've seen it time and time again here in this third quarter.
That's just a great job by Leo offense, and recognizing they've been going on the same count all night, and then they just switch it up there and get them to jump. The previous times they've just kind of been lined up in the neutral zone, but this time they actually did jump into the neutral zone. And
ball resting now on the 42 of Norwell, 2nd and 7 after losing yards on their first down run, as Carson Hepner is going to get across the first down marker. Hepner carried a couple of Norwell defenders, including Bo Morgan and Luke Graft, across the 35 to move the chains. And this is big-time danger time for Norwell.
That's right. Backs against the wall here. As you see, Rinkenberger kind of pointing out something. I don't know if they're complaining about a hold or what, but this is crunch time for the Norwell defense. They really need to come up with a big stop here.
Now, it's also hard to argue that this hasn't been good for Norwell, no matter how this thing turns out. They've been able to face some adversity, and, they're in real danger of being put away for good here if Leo's able to score on this drive. Tanner Jackson is tackled at about the 33. There is a penalty marker down at the near sideline. Line judge threw it right at the snap. But it's right on the sideline, so it's an interesting spot, unless it's motion or shift, which I imagine it has to be. Oh, hold. So he gets him for a hold all the way out there on the sideline. So that's interesting.
Well, I heard some Norwell fans saying a hold, but I wasn't sure how accurate that was. Turned out to be true.
A little biased.
Yeah. It's okay. So it makes a long first down here.
It does. It makes it 1st and 20.
And that helps.
Yeah.
Big time.
The reality is, though, Leo can just continue to eat away at this clock as we're inside of 10 minutes now.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, that's an uphill battle that Norwell's not going to win. They're fighting against the clock. And for a team that runs it as well and as often as Leo does, it's going to be real tough to get the ball back twice in the rest of this ball game, no matter if they're able to get the stop here or not. Barber the snap, handoff, Caden Miller. Miller, a good gain on first down as he gets a lot of that penalty yardage back. It's about 6, maybe 7. And it'll still bring up 2nd down and behind the sticks for the Lions.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the worst thing for the Norwell defense to give up. I mean, you give up a good gain, and that's what Leo wanted, but at the same time, you turn around and don't give up anything on this play. It's still tough 3rd down for Leo, so Norwell really needs to dig deep here. Linebackers need to pursue and find the ball quickly.
And here's a snap. Barber hands it off to Tanner Jackson again. It's 3rd and long for Leo, a situation they're not set up for really offensively well, but I will say they've gotten it a couple times tonight where they've converted on big 3rd downs. That's, I know 3rd downs is an overused cliche to the key of a football game too, but Leo's been pretty darn good on 3rd down tonight.
Yeah, that's true. And 3rd and 10, it's interesting to see what Leo will do with their running offense, but they've showed tonight they're not afraid to pass the ball.
Not at all.
But also, Norwell defense has kind of read the pass well, so this will be an interesting play here on 3rd and 10.
8 1/4 to go in this ball game, and Leo's up 14-0 into the driver's seat with the football. A pitch this time to the outside. Oh, boy. Big gain by Ethan Jackson, and that might be a back-breaking first down on a 3rd and long for Leo, something they've converted well all night. And they drive closer and closer into the red zone.
Yeah, Leo running back there did a really nice job of looking outside, seeing that he didn't have anything out there, cutting it up and getting what he needed for the first down. It's tough for the Norwell defense, but game's not over yet. You got to continue to fight, continue to dig down deep here, and get a stop here, and it's not the end of the world.
At this point, though, Bo, you've got to be, at least in my estimation, you're going to have to start gambling and trying to force a turnover.
Yeah, that's true.
You're going to run out of time, and now Leo's probably they're on fringe field goal range. There's a handoff up the middle again as a lot of different guys are getting in on the action. That was Max Leffler getting his 7th carry of the season. The 4th string tailback. Of course, they have a bunch of guys they use in that T offense. But Rinkenberger was in on the tackle again. He's having himself a nice night, along with Brege, who's having a good second half, and Brody Bolin, who's had a nice 4th quarter so far defensively for the Knights. But Norwell's defense has been on the field a long time, and they really look gassed.
Yeah, and I don't blame them. I mean, that they've been on the field a little over half the time, probably 3/4 of the time of possession is in Leo's favor tonight. And, I mean, that's just astounding for Norwell to – I mean, they got to keep fighting, so dig deep.
Inside 7 minutes to go. Barber, the handoff to Jackson. Not a lot there. They're inside the 20 as they've hit the red zone now for just the 2nd time tonight, amazingly. And they are in the complete control of this football game. I mean, that's not often you can say that.
No, exactly. Scoreboard doesn't reflect it, but it's kind of a similar game as last year, as offenses really haven't gotten anything. Defense has scored as Norwell's defense scored last year. For the only score is Leo only had that field goal. So
we don't have the official stats, but Norwell's going to be nowhere close to that 288-yard mark they had last year.
No, I'd have to agree.
There's a pitch to the outside, and he extends the Norwell defense, but Norwell was ready for it. That'll bring up 4th down and likely the field goal unit, which really 3 points, I think, ices this thing for Leo. You're inside 6 minutes. They are going to bring on McCauley to try to basically put this thing away with under 6 minutes to go.
I'd say Norwell goes for heavy block on one side of the line here, and just try to find the weaker side. Go for the block here, or hope
all right.
misses here.
McCauley has made just one this year, but he's perfect on PATs. This is a 35-yarder from the left hash. McCauley has his left foot into it, looks really good, and it drifts through the uprights, and Leo has themselves a 3-score lead with under 5.5 to go in the football game.
Yeah, this will be tough for Norwell to come back, but like I said, I mean, you still have 5 minutes left, 3 timeouts. This isn't yet impossible to do, but it will be tough as Leo puts that one through for 3.
Well, I know you can really kind of harp on the same thing over and over again, but it has been the mistakes in big moments for Norwell again, as they just haven't converted in clutch time in any situation tonight offensively.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you, and I think penalties have come back to bite them as well. And like I said, Jay County, when you have penalties there, it doesn't matter as much because, I mean, it's a weaker opponent, but when you're facing a good opponent like Leo in conference and a really strong opponent, and they're going to take advantage of those.
Well, we talked about that after week 1. We said, here, now you have a chance to work some of those mistakes out against Heritage. Granted, you've had some things that really haven't gone your way tonight, but that's really not the difference in penalties. Norwell has had just huge mistakes, even on the encroachment stuff, and that's not judgment stuff. That's pre-snap penalties that are real clear, that are not really up for debate. And those penalties happened tonight, and they really bailed Leo out of some situations that Norwell had backed them up in. You think about even on that drive where Bolin got the stop on 1st down, pushing them back, and then they get the encroachment, and it brings up 2nd and 7 instead of 2nd and 12.
Exactly.
Luke Graft on the return again. He's returned all of Norwell's kickoffs tonight. Gets across the 20-yard line. But Leo's special teams coverage has been pretty astute tonight.
Yeah, and like you said, I mean, they've been good. Luke's returned the ball well. I mean, you can't ask much from a returner when you're running hard and trying to find a gap, but there's just been no gap there tonight on that kickoff team. It was a big drive for Norwell. They're going to have to score quick if they want a chance before the 3-minute mark at least, if they want a chance here. So look for him to move quickly here, take a couple shots downfield, stay out of the gun. As it's surprising me that he's under center right now, but look for a rollout pass here.
It's got to be.
Yeah.
Riley hands it off.
See, and that.
Well, it befuddles us because you're just taking yourself out of the football game at that point. I mean, you got 5 minutes to go. Norwell's not in any huge hurry here.
No, it doesn't look like it.
And it is definitely. I mean, obviously, when you haven't scored tonight, it's difficult to score anytime. And so you're fighting as uphill battles as they come to get 3 scores in under 6 minutes. But you can't do that.
No. No, and you're not going to run the ball and march down the field against this Leo defense.
Nope.
So
now Riley will throw a screen pass to Graft outright. He slips a couple of tackles. Ball came loose after he hit the ground. He was finished off by the DN, DJ Allen, who had that big pick 6 in the first quarter. And it'll bring up 3rd and short as, actually they're going to give him the first down as it was close to the marker. They got to the 34, stopped the clock for a moment.
And this astounds me. I mean, Coach Josh Gerber does not look to be in that big of a hurry right now, and you have to be. I mean, you have no other choice. And it's just astounding to me.
It's just, kind of mailing it in here and moving on to next week, which is just, it is what it is.
Yeah, no.
Oh, bad snap. Riley had trouble with it. Eli, and looking to throw, actually slipped the tackle.
Late hit.
Yeah, that's a really late hit, and that's not necessary. It wasn't an egregious hit. Oh, no, now we've got extra flags. A couple Leo players really getting in the face here, and the last thing you want to see in what has become a 17-point game with 4 minutes to go, and Leo in complete control.
And this will be interesting for who that second flag was on.
I think it's going to be on Leo. I think they're both on Leo. So obviously the late hit is on Leo.
Here comes the second penalty. Oh, wow.
Well, they're both dead ball, so that's actually they're going to offset each other. So they're after the penalty, or they're after the play, so the play counts. So it's going to be second down and a few for Norwell. So again, Norwell's not able to get the benefit of that after very clear late hit. Now, it could have been something, quite frankly, if you're trying to defend your quarterback, you're going to come in and lay a hit on somebody after you just got blown up there.
Yeah, but
so
still.
It's going to be second down and about 5 with just over 4 minutes to go. Ball resting on the 38-yard line. Clock is stopped. It does not move here as Riley was out of bounds. Riley sends Graft in motion before the snap, pitches it to him. They're going to run another trick play. Luke holds it long, and it's going to be intercepted. Oh, no, it's incomplete. Joel Rinkenberger getting after Damian Gutekunst, the corner, who they had a run-in with earlier, and he did think he had the ball, but they had a run-in earlier in this football game. Should have had the pick as it went right in and out of his hands.
Well, good job by Rinkenberger there, kind of becoming a defender.
And it'll bring up 3rd down.
Intercept that.
Well, that's the second time they've run somewhat similar play. And that one was
Graft throwing.
The first, right? Well, that's true. The first one was Breggy throwing it, and that was as well executed as they come.
Yeah.
You really got to wonder how this game turns out differently if Graft's able to hold on to that football.
Yeah,
that was a huge turning point in this game when you look back.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you there.
4 minutes to go. Riley is going to have to check down, but it's going to be there, and a late hit is there.
Yeah, late hit on Eli.
We're also going to have a hold, so this play's not going to count either. And again, Norwell is not going to get the benefit. There was a late hit, but I think another hold. Now there's chippiness near the sideline as pushes and shoves are being thrown close to the Norwell sideline at about the 45-yard line. A couple Norwell coaches are on the field trying to break up the melee. This has been old-school chippy football tonight here at Leo.
It's disappointing that anytime Leo gets a penalty called on him, Norwell turns around and does too. And whether they deserve those or not, I don't know. We don't know, but like we've said, we don't like harping really on officials a lot.
So you have roughing the passer, but then also a hold. So again, this is not going to count. So just like I said, I mean, that's kind of what we expected there. And I really wish we had the official stats because the number of offset penalties we've had tonight, it's just been ridiculous. And it is what it is. And like I said, the officials have not had an impact on the game. Now, you could maybe make the argument that the officials have had some kind of impact on the way the game has flowed, the attitudes that both teams have shown towards each other. We've made the point that we didn't think they did a good job of getting this under control early.
No, exactly.
But in any case, it doesn't have an impact on the scoreboard. Riley's run out of bounds, ripping for the football. Another penalty comes in. And at this point,
that's 4 straight plays with penalties.
At this point, you just got to start letting stuff go. Norwell's not going to win this football game. There's 3.5 minutes to go. They're down 17 points. And I think this one's likely going to go on Norwell again.
Well,
based on the location of the penalty marker.
Yeah.
So,
I'd have to agree, too. So
now you have a situation where Leo's probably going to decline the penalty. It's another hold.
And Norwell fans are laughing at that. They preach for holds all night, and Leo's been holding all night. And you can argue they're better blocks. Or
it's tough.
Whatever, but
it is what it is. At this point, Norwell's going to have to punt here, I think. Well,
it should be a hold, right? Replay the down.
Oh, my gosh. You got to be kidding me. This is a joke. He just threw another unsportsmanlike penalty as he marches back inside the 30-yard line. This is a joke. Quite frankly, I have not seen a crew like this in a conference game. Josh Gerber calls a timeout for Norwell, and this is just getting ridiculous for no reason. There's no reason for any of this stuff.
No.
And
you
frankly,
know what?
It's just
Player,
it is what it is.
And it's not like anybody was up in that referee's face fighting him. Now, the referee, I feel like, has rabbit ears right now and is trying to listen for anything to throw a flag right now. And that's just ridiculous. It's flag happy in a conference game where it's going to be chippy. It's going to be aggressive. Both teams are going to be aggressive.
The penalties in this game, Norwell has had every unsportsmanlike penalty in this game. Norwell has had every single personal foul in this game that has been enforced. Look, not complaining about officiating, because I hate doing that. But the way this game's been managed, and just like I said, that penalty doesn't need to happen. You want to call the hold? Fine. They did. At this point I think it's pointless because the game is over.
Yeah.
But you want to enforce that where somebody was 15 yards away making a comment, and he flies the flag in the air and starts marching it off before he even reports to the whiteout.
That's right. And now, unless that player is cussing him out, unless that player is saying something that is
at this point
highly inappropriate, no. Now, if the player
could have been,
and maybe he is, but out of these Norwell kids, I don't.
At this point,
I don't.
No. Well, whatever. We're biased. But at that point, again, like I said, you just got to let it go and move on. You got 3 minutes to get to the end of this thing. You're in the locker room. The game's over. Josh Gerber's on the field right now, along with his Norwell club.
Yeah, and, he's asking who said something.
Yeah, well, the Knights will bring in Jace Cheney for Rinkenberger. I'm guessing it was Rinkenberger who got the penalty, who we expected, as he now exits the football game and has likely seen his last play of the game. I got to be honest with you, that's something that Coach Gerber's not going to allow. Whether it was debatable or not, it's really not important. But now Norwell's going to have 3rd and 118 with 3.5 to go and down 17-0. Riley is going to have to escape and throws it incomplete. He was going for Breggy, who was in the area, but had no chance of completing the football, and the Knights will have to punt it away again. Well, we haven't been short of excitement tonight. We said that earlier on, and we know the flags have really been flying for the better part of this football game. And, again, like we said, at this point, it just doesn't matter.
No.
Norwell's not in this game. They're going to punt it away. Leo can run the clock out basically whenever they want here. They'll just have to run a few plays, and I assume Norwell won't use their timeouts. As it's an insurmountable lead at this point. Norwell, quite frankly, when you look back, that's a high snap as Riley gets it down and will boot it away. As Leo gets away with it, great bounce again, going to turn out to be another great kick. But when you put this game in retrospect, Norwell was never close to scoring offensively.
No.
Never. They were never in a position to score.
The only one I can think of is they got to about the Leo's 35-yard line, and then Leo stopped them in 3
Yeah,
plays.
they had the turnover on downs.
And they had the turnover as well in Leo's.
Actually, that brings up another point where I thought that was maybe questionable play calling, as Norwell had 2nd down and short at about the 35-yard line. We thought maybe here's a time to take a shot if you're going to take one. Instead, they hand it off to Ringer 3 times in a row. They get stopped, and Leo, marches from there.
Yep.
But a couple turning points in this game. We talked about the trick play with Luke Graft and Isaiah Breggy, and we talked about that play right there, and that really those are the differences in this football game. When you break it down, even though Leo's offense was okay, it certainly wasn't spectacular. You can't pin anything on this Norwell defense. It was on the field for a long time, overcame a lot of stuff to be on the field that long and only give up 10 points all night. You got to have better help from your offense.
Yeah, I was highly impressed by this Norwell defense.
Yeah,
I appreciate
they passed the test.
Oh yeah, they did. I mean, you take away the pick six, it's a 10-0 ball game.
But even still, if it's 10-0, Leo's still been in complete control because Norwell hasn't sniffed the end zone.
Exactly. So I mean, I don't think you can really ask better for the Norwell defense. Give up 10 points to a conference team who's good.
Right.
The top 3 teams in the conference. So, I mean, offense needs to watch film, make adjustments, and be better next week.
Well, they'll probably have more success next week if we get what we expect out of Belmont, who has had to deal with COVID issues and hasn't had any, hasn't been able to play before tonight.
Yeah.
And they opened their season at Columbia City tonight. But Norwell is going to be on the road at Decatur next week. Don't know exactly what the fan situation is going to be over there, although I know that they're opening things up a little bit. I think some of the Bluffton fans were allowed to go to South Adams tonight, in which the Starfires were all over the Tigers early in the first half of that ball game. We're inside of 2 minutes to go here in this conference opener. Leo's going to find themselves with a victory. They didn't lose but one conference game last year to East Noble. That was 35-7 in the regular season, then lost in the sectional title game 14-7 to East Noble. Both those games took place in Kendallville as Leo moves the chains for his first down.
Yep.
But highly impressed by this Leo team. You know, we talk about the Norwell defense that passed all the tests. How about Leo?
Yeah.
They didn't give up anything to Norwell all night long, save for a few big chunk plays at the beginning. They really tightened themselves down and packed the box for the rest of the game. Norwell couldn't throw it through the air, and Leo had no trouble getting stops.
You know, we can talk about play calling from the Norwell side of it. We can talk about execution and all that, but really we got to give credit to that Leo defense. I mean, they stood strong as Leo's here in victory formation there, and they're going to just take a knee, run the rest of the clock out. This game will be over, but like I said, the Leo defense, they stood strong and they didn't give any big plays up to Norwell, and they capitalized on any penalties that set the Norwell offense back. Leo didn't allow them to get those yards back.
So one more snap will finish it off, and Leo will be able to chalk up their second victory of the season. The Knights are going to suffer their first loss, and of course they'll fall to 0-1 in the conference here, as Norwell really had issues getting over the hump last year in conference. We talked about that. A lot of close losses last year. Norwell a couple wins away from having a really good season. And, you know, this shouldn't be looked at as any type of huge setback. This is the first game of conference season. First time they trailed all season long. Never really able to get anything going offensively tonight. But, you know, you really can't let that affect you. You just got to kind of turn around and go get after it next week at, oh, boy. We got some Leo coaches saying some things, so the action might not be over yet. Remember, neither team shakes hands. They just kind of wave at each other. And so the festivities have not ended. And Brody Boland's trying to shake hands, and he is being shooed away. So, yeah, COVID times. But in a testy football game, it makes it all the more entertaining. In any case, it's a setback for Norwell, but it's not the end of the world. I mean, you know, they're 2-1. It's a tough football game, and Norwell's had all kinds of issues beating Leo for years and years and years, and they're unable, again, to come away with the victory. They were competitive, but really, Leo in the driver's seat after the pick six.
Yeah, and you know what? That pick six, I feel like, set the Norwell offense back a little bit and kind of made them feel like they really couldn't get anything. But you know what? Norwell got yardage early on. And they because we're getting some comments from some fans walking out here. But, yeah, I mean, Norwell got yardage early on. They got some yardage here in the second half. But in reality, the Leo defense was too strong for that Norwell offense. And, like I said, we can talk play calling, execution, all that. But, you know, Norwell has things to clean up, whether it was the refs, flag happy, or whatever. In any case, I know Coach Josh Gerber isn't going to take any of that. He's going to go get the players' takes on what happened, and we'll go from there. And they'll prepare for Belmont next week. They'll be ready for Belmont next week, and I'm excited for that contest for the second conference game of the season. Overall, the Norwell defense performed really well, as we were talking, and I think they will continue to do so all season.
Well, we had a lot of fun tonight. Norwell is going to suffer a loss 17-0, but you know, it was good from our perspective. We are so glad that we're able to bring these broadcasts. I think our highest quality broadcast, at least we're able to show you the football game in the second half, and the darkness was not able to hinder our camera tonight. So we're happy to work through some of those technical issues. So happy for the support from the Norwell football team and the Norwell athletic department, as Kelby Waybright's been a tremendous help in making these broadcasts happen. Of course, the table tonight provided by the Norwell football team. The power down here, we had a gentleman from East Allen Community Schools helping us out. I mean, it takes a lot to put these broadcasts together, and so we're very appreciative of all those people that make these things happen, and of course Scott and Dale Menser for allowing us this platform to be able to bring you local football here, where especially now when it is more needed than ever. So be sure to check out our sponsors and support them, as they are very generous in allowing us their funds, and they believe in what we're doing as well. So that'll wrap it up. Leo wins this one 17-0. They go to 2-1 and 1-0 in the conference. Norwell falls to 2-1 and 0-1 in the Northeast 8 after week 3. Knights play Belmont next week, and Leo will go on the road for another big test at New Haven before they face East Noble here in Leo Cedarville the following week. So that'll wrap it up. On behalf of my partner Christian Bohetta, our owners Scott and Dale Menser, this is Derek Decker saying so long and God bless.
We hope you enjoyed this broadcast on the Voice Enterprises. Remember, none of this would be possible without the support of our sponsors. Please take time to tell them thank you and to use their services whenever possible. Join us again next time on WellsCountyVoice.com.